Okay, so last time we had played, the party was investigating the burned out ruins of Nascimento Keep, and you found a hidden, magically sheltered entrance. And using a drop of Lyranok's blood after investigating these kind of occult symbols from Torkel, you activated the elevator, which took you into the alien world of the Underdark, where you traveled for an hour, staring at vast caverns and strange mushroom colonies of pearlescent lights and dark oranges, arriving in the remaining structure of an ancient temple, possibly connected to the Shivanes, the oppressors of your ancestors, and finding a deep and locked away slither of their history. Heading through this kind of base level of this temple, you ran into an ambush after arriving, set by two incubi, foul shape-shifting demons pretending to be lost explorers, and they used lesser mains as a distraction to start their attack. Recouping from this ambush, the party followed the remaining trail of one of the creatures across a massive grey slate stone bridge, which all of the olden architecture is made of this strange infernal fire damage pattern beneath the stone's surface. Across the bridge, in equal increments, there were statues of the Shivane people, these reptilian lower half, satyr appearing peoples, which you have never seen in actually living, and only Torkel really rolled high enough to recall any information about it. At the end of the bridge, there was a large four-sided pyramid at the end of a lone stone tower of rock. The scanning eye of the party could see the Underdark denizens and plant life keeps well away from these buildings and ancient remains. Across both walls of the main entrance into the temple, there were these complex three-dimensional, 2.5-dimensional places of these displaying the Shivane ruling and enslaving all mortal races and exotic monstrosities such as mind flayers and dragons. Sneaking forward after crossing the fulcrum point into this temple, the party saw Lime, the man who had tried to kill Sophia and Hendrik in Rakmir about more than a week past in a purge of the six-fingered man's cobweb of plots. And from there, a great battle ensued. A dwarven death knight and Limes attempted to incapacitate or kill the party. Spells of great power were launched from both sides. The bulwark Thoric dueled the white, while Hendrik, Lernok, and Torkel were assaulted by hellhounds. Orly and Sophia struck from the shadows where they found and eventually brought down Limes after Hendrik dominated his mind with Tyr's power. The mage was slain, creating opportunity for the battle to shift, killed by the vengeful Azamar Sophia. Unfazed, the Death Knight unleashed all of his reserves in trying to bring down the fearless Forge Cleric, the holy symbol banishing the undead, its will to fight, and instead making them flee from the god's power. All looked well until the creature struck out to slay Torkel. Instead, his body was poetically destroyed by the cleric that subdued much of his power at hand. And after giving that send-off line, calling this creature, which he thought worthless, in the chamber, covered in your own sweat, blood, and adrenaline still rushing through you, a burgundy glow of light hovers above the fountain at the top of the stairs. A floating head wearing a bone mask that covers just the eye slits in the top of the skull, in dwarven kind of racial look, manifests, asking the question of Torkel after slaying the Death Knight, and all of you have this kind of like dark glow across the chamber. And he finishes his sentence of, what did you say about my son?
Okay. I don't have any spell slots left. I think Torkel's too exhausted to actually respond, so he's just going to like wave his hand at it, like shut the fuck up, and sit down. Because I think I've got like 4 hit points.
The head does seem to have sensory awareness, and it does like scan. And the head is like it's a pretty big head. It's bigger than any of your bodies. It's not just like a floating regular. It's enlarged, and it's like scanning over you guys with its eyes underneath this kind of bone mask. And it's kind of like
You're the
this,
balls guy.
there's this strange kind of transparency to the illusion, the apparition. What do you do?
I'm gonna shoot it.
Okay. The bolt flies through it and hits the bolt wall on the other side.
It's worth a try.
Unfortunately,
Someone-
physical means will have no effect on me in this form.
Wait,
For
hold
both
on.
our sakes.
Can you?
The figure looks
Oh.
towards Limes and Tuts. Well, a natural conclusion.
Just tell us what you need and then disappear. We are tired.
I can see. I just came to observe what the wrench showed up, as it were. To what is your responsibility for traveling and putting yourselves at such great risk? What powers do you serve?
We don't need to answer to you.
No, you don't. I'm just curious.
I don't even know anymore.
Really? Really? You should. Okay. We'll have a talk back at town. No one tell this thing anything, not even your name.
Good call, Hendrik.
But I mean, you did say already a second ago as well, so.
Larnock is not responding. He is just 1,000 yards staring. It's like in absolute shock of what's happened, and he's not responding to anything.
It's been a long
Where'd the
day.
girl-
Been
Where'd the girl
betrayed
go?
twice,
Where does
3
she go?
times, thinking we're. I remember. I'm not saying anything. It's fine. I go down and I lie on the ground beside Oracle.
Yeah, can someone smash it, please? In the meantime, we need to find the girl.
Can I do a perception check to see if I can see if there's like a crystal that's helping emanate this image or something
Sure,
that
make a
is being
perception check,
casted?
Yeah.
Can I help with that?
Sure, both of you look around. One of you roll with advantage then.
Alright. What I get?
19.
Nah,
Torkel, as you kind of peer around and you kind of walk up towards the fountain, you gather there's some source within the fountain. You look at the kind of lovely blue water, which has turned a burgundy color from the reflection of the hologram thing. And you can see with the 19, there's a magical rune on the bottom of the fountain, which is giving the power to this illusion. With a 19, you do sense that you saw something familiar before. You have seen something like this before. Do you remember when that mage that Droom had friends of, that like young guy with bracers, he like teleported you guys and made like a teleportation circle on the ground? It looks similar to that. He's like broadcasting from a teleportation circle.
Oh. Can I just? I don't have dispel magic or anything really. Can I try and?
Pull the plug.
Can I try and sacred flame the rune to see if I can damage it enough that it doesn't work?
You can just like fire it through the water.
Yeah.
Okay. You sacred flame. The sacred flame hits against the water and immediately dissipates.
Yeah. I
bubbles
don't want to reach in
all
and hit it though because I think the water's fucking weird.
Hmm.
For the rune, if someone wants to come and disrupt it, we'll get rid of the big fucking head. It falls back down to the floor.
Yeah.
I
I'm
don't
very
have the strength.
curious about this situation.
As
No
he's
one-
monologuing, I'll trudge up with my
Anything.
crossbow. Mid monologue, I'll try to take a shot at the crystal.
Okay. Roll me wisdom saving throw.
Ah, I got double nat 20s for this last time. Remember?
You did, yeah. You rolled advantage because of the magical effect.
Sick.
18. You succeed. You level the crossbow bolt and you see just a slight like reflection in the water, not humanoid, not creature, but just like something moved in it, and you fire the crossbow bolt and it hits into the water, and the crossbow bolt of metal like goes like a couple feet in, and you see immediately after a few couple feet the momentum arrests the bolt from hitting the water. It does not touch the runes, and it bubbles and boils and disintegrates like acid. The metal bolt just disintegrates.
I retort. I fall to my knees and just lie beside the fountain. I tried. I'm resting now.
Oracle, dwarves are immune to acid, aren't they?
No, we are not immune to acid. Maybe
this
you
some-
could do something with your mighty tier power instead of asking me to step into a deadly pool.
So as a character, I love the fact that everyone is just completely ignoring the guy.
Listen, it was a long day. That was a big fight. That just kept
That
going
was,
and
yeah.
going.
8 hit points. Torkel is into shit. He went down and everything. He's not in a good
We
way.
reserve the right to be grumpy for at least one session in
Yeah.
this campaign, okay?
This guy's trying to have like a. It's like this guy's cold called us in the middle of at the end of one of our fucking biggest fights.
I mean, the
You guys are on
Thorkel.
a hangover.
Yeah,
Drop.
It's pretty much a hangover.
Thork is going to look up at him and just go like, "We are not in the best state to talk. What is it you want? What is it you need?"
Who are
What do you
talking to?
want? Just
Who
tell
are you
us.
talking to?
I'm
I need
talking.
to know
Okay.
if you are my enemy.
No, don't.
What is it that you wanted from Sophia and Slate's family? Why did you need to take them?
Ah, so this is what this is about. A surprising fortune of events.
The man, he committed wrongdoing, that his life was on track. It was not whatever's needed for this was not necessary. He earned his peace, and you took that from him. Why?
I did not choose the course of action to involve Slate and cause him distress. That was his wife's choice.
What does he mean by that? What do you mean by that?
I wanted to involve Slate. It would have been much easier. But a long time ago, she convinced me on another approach. Her job was to get close with him. Once she understood what we were trying to achieve, I
You're
knew
lying.
that Slate.
Oh.
Make an
Yeah, I don't know
intuition.
why you guys are.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can I also make an insight?
Yeah.
I don't need to make an insight. He's lying.
Yeah.
I'm just going to
Yes.
stay beside Orly as he claims this guy's lying, just in case there's some
I'm
like.
still lying down. I'm still lying down.
Seems
Yeah.
pretty. Seems. But given your state, you're reading like he's just speaking.
Yeah.
Well composed.
Also, we're trying to
Okay.
read through the equivalent of a Zoom call.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, is he lying or is that just a bad picture? I can't tell.
Is he frozen for anyone else, or is that just me?
No. Slate is important, but no longer. That was Camilla's part of the bargain, that he wouldn't be involved and he would be safe. And I keep true to my bonds, as with all the rest of them. They will be kept safe from people like you. From powers like you.
You
Okay,
mean
he's
to
buying
say
time.
that
Let's focus on the crystal, guys.
you
He's
mean to
buying
say
time.
that
We've tried. I've tried. You tried.
that she made this decision, that she decided to take their daughter away. to this, and he's just almost going to give like a gesture at the ruins.
Yeah.
Why would she
Um,
need protection from us, from our powers? We are just trying to help them.
Because once you know what I need them for, your people, the gods, everything around this place won't rest until they're dead. But
I would not
I
allow
re-
harm to come to them. I would die
You
before that happened.
you say that now. You say that now very confidently. But I promised them a peaceful life of anything they could ask for, and safety from the Concord, which will tear itself apart.
For the love of Baldric, can you just cut to the chase and tell us?
Just be silent if you don't have anything to say.
If you
What
came here
secret
looking for-
could possibly rip this Concord apart to the point where we would kill this woman and child? That we would bring harm to them.
Someone tried explaining this to your people 3 years ago, and he was cut down for it. He came with a warning, trying to rouse up support. You burned half a town in his anger once he was thrown out. But even then, you still didn't listen to his warning.
I generally don't listen to people who burn down towns. Thank you very much.
Can I make a history check for?
Yeah, make history.
Has like half a town burned down in the last 3 years? That sounds like it would be eventful.
Can I roll
Is
as well,
anyone
please?
doing anything, by the way, whilst this is happening? I'm just lying down, but I'm
Speaking
curious.
to him. Oh,
I'm trying to figure out-
flat roll. Let's see how this goes.
I'm trying to figure out this
Torkel-
acid thing.
Fuck.
I think I have a solution, but it's gonna flood the entire room with acid.
Oh,
Torkel and Thoric, you two are both very aware of a mad druid which destroyed much of Vard.
Yeah.
And as far as you know, he appeared from nowhere. Many dozens of people were killed, hundreds injured, and you helped, bring down some of his plant creatures and things. But as far as you were told, and you believe, that was just a strange vendetta this crazy druid had against the powers that be, the archzealot, the any other dignitaries of the church. And he was slain. He was killed.
Okay. But
The
what
spectre-
secret? What message could require this? What's happened? Working with these things.
The Concord are blind to the cancer that will end it. The people within it, your spoiled children, you have houses constructed, food delivered to your doors, peaceful lives. You are the people, because I still consider myself a Concordian. We are so blind to many things. And I have been shown that there is something that sits at the heart of our nation that's because of our bureaucracy, our patriotism, our faith, will be powerless to stop. Our churches will fragment. Our people will pick sides. Brother and sister will turn against each other in trying to figure out an answer, but it will be too late. We have to look to other places to save us.
this is
And
torture.
the greatest crime of them all is, even despite the warning, possibly the only one they've been told 3 years ago. They haven't listened. He gets this forlorn look on his face. They've kept pace with making it stronger, unshackling it, but making ourselves weaker to fight it.
Lennox, I'm not going to do it, but Lennox is going to shout. For obvious reasons, I'm not going to do it. What warning? You have told us nothing. We have been sitting here with all these abstract concepts. Tell us what could possibly necessitate working with these. And he's going to, and this time he's actually going to gesture at the undead at his feet. Actually, what? I'm assuming the incubus went back to hell when, or the infernal when it died, right?
The body of the death is still there.
Cool, can't gesture at that. So I'm just going to gesture like these. This necromancy is an abomination, ripping people back from further from beyond. This, and you claim to want to help people?
I don't like the methods. It's never sat well with me. But our people have done much worse things for smaller tragedies that might have existed. The White Rose, the Silver Templars, the wars with Teoland, trivial. The wars, they'll be trivial to what comes next. There's only so much I can say, but I'm here for a time. This is the most engaging I've been in the plot for a century. What do you want to know?
Oh,
The warning.
oh my god.
This is draining the remaining will I have to live.
can't-
And Taco starts to crawl like towards the back of the room to try and do a perception check for any secret doors. Somebody shut the fucking moralizing prick off. There's no
You
point
hold
talking to these
political
people.
office, right? Would I be right in asking that? Of
I did a long time ago.
course. How did I guess? Damn, do we get a short rest from this?
No.
Fuck.
The
Can I,
warning. You've spoken around the warning. You've spoken of people who haven't listened to the warning. You've spoken of consequences for apparently not listening to the warning. You've yet to speak of the warning.
He's trained an entire career just to do this. We're
He's
never
buying
going to
Or
get
you're-
the answer.
You can roll a perception check, Torkel. It's for
He's
your
buying
own
time so
safety.
his body can regenerate.
You said, so, what do you say?
It can't regenerate. It died to holy damage.
It's for your own safety. If I say too much, you'll be killed. You'll be put to the sword once you tell anyone else.
Why did you bring it up?
Taco turns round and just starts screaming at him. You just had the leech try and murder all of us. What do you mean you're afraid of us to be killed? Either tell us what the warning is or shut up.
Make a persuasion check, Torkel.
Is that persuasion or intimidation?
Yeah.
Persuasion or intimidation, whichever one you wish.
At this point,
If you allow me, I'm going for persuasion.
I think I prefer a lich.
Natural one!
Natty one.
Nice. You don't detect anything, Torkel.
Okay. Torkel, Learnock, Thoric, Orly, everyone. Listen to what I have to say. There is a gem here. I believe it is a gem which resurrects the thing we just killed. I think that skull is just trying to buy time and distract us. Let's focus on this gem. Once we destroy the gem, then we can talk all day long with the little buddy there.
Okay, how do
how
we
can
destroy it?
How can we
What?
destroy the gem without burning in the acid?
No. What gem?
Okay. There's a gem at the center of this.
It's a rune.
Huh? I thought it was a room.
Oh, it's a
It's
sorry.
a rune at the center of the thing. It's a teleportation style rune at the center of the thing, but the casting of the head is coming from. It's not a resurrection gem.
I'm sorry. I heard gem earlier.
So I think
you,
I said
you
gem.
kind of assume, I mean, I think there was an assumption of a gem, and then
I
it just rolled from
think
there.
I said that. I apologize.
Yeah. But please destroy the rune.
Yeah, but still, I agree
Yeah,
with getting
I
rid
would
of
put-
whatever this thing is.
I have a question. I have the ability to destroy objects. Is this acid bath recessed below the ground I'm standing on currently?
Yeah, it's like recessed into the ground. Yeah.
But below the ground where I am.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's like a bath into the actual ground level. Sorry, I need to look on the map here exactly.
Okay, well then I can't get all of it out then. That's not really helpful.
And the teleportation circle is like that big inside of the floor, like a couple feet down. Looks
okay,
towards
well,
you, Hendrik. No,
Okay.
I am quite sure that this time he'll stay dead. I want him to, after all. He's been nothing but a nuisance this time around.
You know what? Let's just take him with us. Put him in my bag. We need to look. Okay, well, fuck, I hate this whole situation. Okay, you guys keep talking if you want. I'm gonna keep looking around.
Just want to sleep.
Make a persuasion check, or make a perception check for me, please, Hendrik, or investigation.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Yeah, I'm just investigating in general.
Yeah, cool. Well, at least I can repeat this. Slate's family, Sophie and Camilla, are safe, and they will be for a long, long time. I always keep my ends of deals and bargains. If that's what you care about, and you can go about to your lives and responsibilities and whatever else things you choose to get involved with. But my word is my word, and I promised Sophia I'd keep them safe from the likes of things like you. Hendrik, as he finishes his sentence, you see something on the table next to Lime's things to study. You see a cracked piece of silver metal. And as you go over to walk towards it, you see two further cracked pieces. And you see the remains, the broken, dusted over remains of the last urn from the crypt in Rackmere.
Wait,
Long
is the
broken and
urn just
discarded.
cracked or is it broken?
It's broken in 3 pieces.
God damn it! And the ashes that were inside are
Nowhere to be seen.
well, that's not great. I guess we can mend it, but the ashes
I'll
are
mend
kind of
it.
the important part.
He sees you looking at it, scanning it over. The head like kind of does that axis and looks towards you. Ah, that was needed to fulfill Camilla's deal. Nothing more.
I don't
Okay.
know about you, but I'm addressing the group now instead of like the head. I'm not exactly comfortable with relying on this man's promises that these people are safe. She was in this room and has disappeared, and I do not remember seeing any sort of magical effect assist her. There must be some other way out.
Right,
mean-
just a slight errata. I keep saying Sophia. His wife's name is actually Philippa, and the child's name is Camilla.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
my
I
fault
was
as a GM.
gonna ask about that, but I assumed.
That's my fault as a GM.
Camilla, was it?
Camilla.
Philippa.
Oh God, now I'm confused.
It's
So
Philippa
Philippa.
is the wife's name.
Okay, cool.
That's who you should be referencing this entire time. My fault.
Okay. I believe Philippa was not here during the fight. Maybe before, but not when we were fighting. That wasn't her. Well, one minute I saw her at the back of the room, and the next thing I'm getting clawed on my chest.
You think they put a show on for the benefit of us?
Yeah, I think this.
Hmm.
I think this whole thing is a wild goose chase. I think we're being manipulated.
Someone's paying attention.
We still haven't figured out how to turn this. How is this magic possible? Where are we? We're so far underground. I don't understand it.
The head looks towards the urns. That was Limes' magnum opus, a transfer of essence. He did accomplish it after some time, but it took a lot of resources.
Can I roll?
Dead now.
Can I roll something to? What is this talking skull specifically? What type
What,
of
the
thing
illusion?
is it?
Make an Arcana check.
Yeah. Automatic. Good.
I
22. With 22, he is using a pretty high level displacement double appearing spell to broadcast a part of his mind and sensory functions through the teleportation circle in the base of the fountain. So without the teleportation circle, it can't work. But
What's the range on that?
the material plane.
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty fucking far then. Cool, cool.
Can he send other things through the teleportation circle? As far as
I'm sure he
can
could
tell,
if he wanted to, yeah.
fucking,
But he doesn't.
yeah,
At least not for this moment in
shit.
time.
I have a concern that there was more than just this path up here.
There's
Are we
side rooms
getting-
and stuff.
I know,
We
but
took a left to get here.
I'm saying back before we walked into this room, there were other paths around, and I'm
Yeah,
concerned that he might be waiting for people to trap us in.
Yeah,
We
the
go
monologue
back-
is being filled. DM, I'd like to cast something.
Sure.
I would like to cast. What the fuck am I doing?
That's a
Shatter
strange spell.
Okay.
as a second level spell on the rune glyph.
Are you sure?
That sounds like it's gonna explode.
I'm asking, are you sure you want to end this dialogue?
Anything that he says, I cannot trust him. I don't. And he can send more danger through, so we're gaining nothing and we're risking something.
Okay,
All right.
I'll bite whilst you're
I agree.
making up your mind. Do you consider us enemies after your monologue or what you might deem a conversation?
No. If
Okay.
you're not part of the White Rose, then something can be worked out.
Then
I have a
speak to us. Tell us something more about what is going on. You mentioned, sorry. Oh, which one was the wife? Is it Camilla or Philippa?
Philippa.
Philippa's the wife. Okay. You mentioned that Philippa's deal was part of the urn, but what is happening? People have died and suffered for this, and you won't tell us. And we're supposed to take you at your word for this.
We've spent weeks. We've dedicated all of our time and resources to get where we are right now. We reserve the right to know what we need to know, and not just an assurance that we'll be safe if we don't know. I know you're
Okay.
using a rune to speak to us right now, but please don't speak in runes to us.
Oh, burn.
You have survived this fight. You do owe an explanation for Camilla's actions. She's not here to speak for herself, so I'll speak in her place. I entrusted Camilla to build a relationship with Slate. She did. They fell in love. What was needed of her to convince him on this path, she didn't feel like she could lose him to it for the risks. She didn't want him to have the same risks going towards her. And it was a very difficult conversation and meetings, and it was hard on my part to try and source another arrangement. But we found an answer. The key for something that I need is part of Slate's bloodline. And I thought that I would need explicitly Slate. But when Philippa told me she was pregnant, we formulated a new plan. One that we'd need the urn for. So I orchestrated a raid on the Ash Keepers to take the urn. Something of Slate's tangible bloodline. And I made sure that he was sent to Eland and not executed. That he would live. That he would be looked after for. I kept my men in Eland in the know, that they were to protect him. There are many times Slate could have died, dozens, but I kept him alive, for the promise on Philippa's behalf that I would keep him alive.
How noble.
And the urn, well, suffice to say that the plans I'm putting in motion requires certain people to stay alive, and willingness to engage. And Philippa wanted no knowledge of any of this on Slate's behalf. So the urn was taken, Slate was cared for and protected, and we moved the willingness and the tether for ancestral blood into the daughter, where she willingly is helping us, and has done. Now Philippa and Camilla have no need to be engaged. They are only now lavish, protected persons in a palace where no harm can come to them. And the girl will grow, she will age, she will live her life, and I will protect her, the same as Philippa, for the rest of their lives.
And is the
From all of you.
puppeteer the puppet master? Or is he also a puppet himself? Who's pulling your strings?
Make an insight
Sure.
check.
This guy's actually making me IRL angry.
Yeah, I fucking hate him.
You see a sly, like kind of backseat maneuver of like reaction in his eye, and you're just like, you just read of,
Gotcha, bitch.
oh shit, this gnome's a bit more smart than he looks. But
He's
I respect
just
it, but I
grumpy.
like it.
That's all it is.
But I like it that you can see that far. It means you're useful. You're not dumb. And now that the urn has served its function, and when the time came to extract from Rakmir, well, it was time to move Philippa and Camilla to their secured location. And unfortunately, Slate will have no knowledge of what will happen, and has happened, or will happen next. But he'll be safe. He always will be safe. What I ask is, don't tell him any of this. He will do something foul and stupid. And I
He
will
is
be unable
desperate.
to truly...
He is desperate now for any kind of knowledge. He will do something insane and stupid now. He does not.
Not if you
need to-
convince him to do something else.
Such
Why
as
would we do
what?
that? He lost his family.
You may
Tell
be
him you
happy
found them.
manipulating people to do what you want, but we will not be manipulating Slate. You deal in violence and manipulation, and you pretend that the people near you are going to be safe. You're a liar. We will not lie to him.
I see. Well, it is his choice to make if he does something egregiously ferocious and ill-plotted.
Miss Neves is very, very quiet. I know she's a quiet person, but what has she been doing for this entire ordeal?
She's been listening to all this, but she's like been like kind of knees crossed, kneeling over the body of lions. Don't know what happened there. Kneeling over the body of lions, and is just studying him, and it's like
So
slowly
she's
going through his
still-
pockets.
Okay.
She's still caught up in all that. She's clearly listening. She doesn't look up at him, acknowledge what's going on, but she's still looking at limes.
Does she
Alright.
look like she's in like a state of like shock. Or
Yeah, she does. Like she's clearly killed this person, and it's like, okay, what do I do next?
What else do I do?
Like,
what the
I
hell
check
did
their
we do?
belongings. I check their belongings. I study them. I check, and then she seems to be just kind of going over, but very slowly, like checking pockets, like kind of like out of it a bit.
Are we stuck in this room? Is there only one way in, one way out?
No, you're free to leave. I won't pursue you. You came to find Slate's family, and now you know where they are. Well, you know that
Well,
they're
we
safe.
don't. You haven't actually told us anything solid. And
You
I
know
think you
nothing.
enjoy that.
He just turns his head and looks towards the rest of the party. Scanning you guys. Looks towards Lyranok. I didn't get a good look at you. My, you're mighty old for one of your kind.
I didn't get a good look at you. You look like shit.
I do not suspect I have too many more decades left in me. But
Were you there? Were
where?
you at the great collapse of the Northern Expedition?
I'm assuming is this referring to what happened in the forest?
Yeah, yeah. Yes.
Okay. No, I wasn't there, but my brother, my brother and us, he's told me stories, the things I've heard from there. He did not come out the same man that he was. Are you saying it's connected to what happened there?
It's connected to me. The head turns towards the remains of the Death Knight. My son's first death was there. A stupid military campaign of aggression against an empire a kingdom that really doesn't want anything to do with us any longer. They have better things to do, but we keep picking fights. And he died for nothing, as did another 50,000 sons and daughters and husbands and wives. For what? This is part of it. At least part of why I am and who I am now. My wife couldn't handle the grief. She eventually refused to eat, refused to sleep. She was lost to it. And I wanted to be lost to it, but... Turns towards Orly. Something found me in that darkness and gave me a new purpose. One which meant that I could save this country from turning on itself. I'm a patriot. I love these people, these lands, the lessons in the religion.
This motherfucker.
I love democracy. I love I love the Concord.
Where's the thunderous applause?
If you seek disagreement, the fact that we spend so many lives, so much blood to do something as petty as redraw the lines on a map, I will not disagree with you there. But what you are doing is not helping. Working with this necromancy, working with the infernal, this is not the way it can be done. All you're doing is creating new suffering. That's it. That's all.
He gets a really stunned look on his face. I thought it was an act. You really have no knowledge of the rose.
What white rose? What? Actually, also, I said this. I'm assuming that based on what we've heard beforehand in other campaigns, this is not something we fucking have any idea about.
Maybe in other campaigns, but not your current characters.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So, like, we've heard about it in other campaigns, but like, very much not character knowledge, right?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yes, Ron.
Thork, as Lyranok is sort of demanding to know like what right rose Thork is going to come forward, and he's going to say, "I'm a member of the Church of Bahamut. I have no idea what you're talking about."
There's a seventh order. There's not just 6. One that is committed to preservation and defending the Concord against all enemies, internal and external, infernal and celestial. They answer directly to the Hierophants. There are no powers that they do not have, no assets they cannot levy. And with that power, they have done everything they can to keep the status quo. They have erased villages and cultures. They have betrayed and rewrote history countless times. They are my greatest enemy and my benefactor's greatest enemy. All of this, limes awaiting my resurrected son set here. This was a snare to catch White Rose agents, but you wandered into it. With this looking for Slate's wife and daughter. I instead thought I'd be confronting virtuous, powerful paladins. But instead, I find wanderers and mystique.
Yeah, sorry to disappoint you. Shall we wrap this up?
DM, I've been around a while, and I've
Yeah.
been in lots of different interesting circles. Some of them secret or not. Can
Make
I
history
roll
check.
history to see if
Yeah.
if any of this lines up at all?
Yeah, make history check.
Should it be a hidden roll?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna roll once just to get my numbers, and then I'm gonna DM roll it. Okay.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Or I think I just do the math actually.
Looks towards Orlais. I'll leave this accessible if you change your minds on wanting more answers. Looks towards the looks down towards the teleportation circle. But if you do cross over, just don't rush, arms and weapons swinging. There will be someone ready to meet you.
You got beds?
I have a kingdom. Any needs or desires that you need, I'm sure could be fulfilled within reason and enough notice.
Leave the city yet? We kind of got other priorities, but up to people.
Sophia looks up finally. Why? Why did my father have to die? Looks towards the head. Gets this kind of resigned look. And it sucks his teeth in a little bit. That was Limes not listening to orders. I believe him and your father had fought on many occasions. And I preached after the raid to take the urn. Obfuscation and hiding was the best choice, but he would not listen. He killed your father, not under my orders, but under his own pride. He did pay a price for it. But I'm sure that's of little consequence, since you have your revenge now. Monk. She just kind of solemnly nods, like, okay, I guess it was just as meaningless as that. Someone's pride, that person's pride killed my father. I thought it was something greater, and her just walls are just shattering piece by piece. There's a place for someone like you with us. I'm not interested. Okay. Well, you have much to think about. I'll leave you with this. Look for where you throw the darkest, deepest, most foul peoples, and what you ask them to do for you. That is where you'll find some answers. And why we are doing what we're doing. Why it must be done. Scans over the party, unless anyone has any final words before he dissipates.
I don't.
Don't even look at him.
All you're doing, no matter how just you feel your cause, Ian, you are creating death and suffering. Even if what you wish and believe is true and just, this is not the way it should be done. This cannot be allowed to stand.
Would you prefer that the gods all die?
I would much rather not, but
There's
look
a
at what
choice.
you're doing.
Do this, or the 12 gods will be slain and eaten, and deposed and replaced by something much more foul. I don't want that. I want the 12 gods to remain. That is the truth of it. I want this country to be what it is, no matter what foul things I have to do to achieve it.
But in the choice of the lesser of two evils, it is still just picking evil.
I
If
don't disagree with you.
this, I cannot condone this. I would fight. Stop suffering to help people, to help the gods. Also, find through peace in our kingdom. I would give my life. But this, I cannot accept this. I have to believe there is a better way.
He nods. I'd say that I know I'm going to spend the rest of my soul's existence within hell. But I'm already there. And the dissipation of the illusion drops, and he disappears.
Orc looks like he doesn't. He somewhat disagrees with Lyranok here, but he's not going to say anything.
Eric is just gonna wander over here. He's gonna sort of collapse behind these boxes and just sort of sit down for a while. And that's it. He's just gonna sit there for a little while.
If you guys need a rest, I can keep watch down here.
Is the teleportation circle gone now, or is it still there?
No, it's still active, but there's no longer an illusion or
Okay.
permanation coming from him.
I'm going to cast a spell. I'm going to cast
Okay.
Shatter on it.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay. You want to destroy the teleportation circle that could possibly lead to this person?
Well, we're not going to be able to use it, I don't think.
We know someone that can.
Yeah, I just realized.
You're 19th
I don't know.
intelligence character. I'm just repeating what your character probably already know.
I hate this shit. No, you're right. I every time I'm like, oh, I'll cast it. I'm like, well,
You just really want to cast Shadow, dude.
yeah, that'd be the easy path, but I don't know enough about
I'm
this.
not trying to railroad you. I just want to make
It
Hendrik
literally
aware.
might. No. It's something I realized before you even said it. That like this might. I don't know enough about this, and it's inaccessible right now. But it is like one of the few things that the
Could there be a way to lock it without destroying it?
The first time
no.
we've come up against anything this ambiguous, where good and evil was spelled out for us, but this we don't know. So
No, they're evil. Don't worry about it. Yeah, Hendrik will think about it for several minutes and just like, fine, I'll just leave it be, and fucking leave it. God damn it!
I'm not
guys
talking
want
about the
short rest?
laws, talking about morally. Fine, whatever. I'm taking my bedroll out. I'm going for a
don't.
rest.
You have no reason to believe anything that thing just said. I would not dwell on it until you have more information that you yourself can get.
I didn't say I believed in anything. I'm just saying maybe not to dismiss anything that it said either.
I think none of us are in a great state to philosophize.
Yeah, no, I agree. We should take a rest and have watches.
Okay.
You guys going to long rest or short rest?
Long rest is on the table. I think.
I mean,
You can
how
try.
far away from the actual?
Yeah.
How far away are we from, like the inn or the tavern we
You're
were at?
You're about half an hour walk back all the way through to the elevator to the Nether Temple up the stairs, then about an hour lift all the way back to the surface, so about an hour and a half away from the surface.
And then
Uh,
from the surface of the city, it's not that far, is it?
Yeah, you're about back in and out. I'd put
No,
forward.
let's
So
get out of here.
if everyone could take a long rest, we might as well take a long rest with beds and fresh hot food.
Yeah, we did a short rest
Yeah.
if you guys want, but long rest. We should not be down here.
If we head back up the way we came, we better hope we don't run into anything.
Wait, Tim, did you say the elevator ride's an hour?
Yeah.
I don't think
That's short rest time. We'll take a break on the elevator. Everyone get up.
You're
Come on,
so
we're moving.
efficient.
We're fucking moving.
Okay.
Turco, grab everything from the desk that looks valuable, interesting, or readable.
Can I peruse the deck, see if there's
Make a
anything
investigation
valuable,
check,
interesting,
please.
or
Yeah.
readable?
There's a lot more to this area than what we've seen. Are we going to be coming back or leaving it be?
That's what I'm worried about. When we head back out, we're going to hit a T junction, and we haven't gone left. We came from.
There's a T-chunk. There's a crossroads here. We haven't gone left or right from the entrance. We came straight in here.
There is an incubus who does not like us.
We
Still
are-
alive.
We
There's
are
two of
beat
them
to
actually,
hell
and you killed both of
in
them.
enemy territory. We are a few hours away from a soft bed. Let's take a proper long rest. Come back here, kick ass.
Torkel, you do see that there is a furled up map. That's the only thing legible that you see on the table is a furled up map.
All right, I'll grab the map.
Do you want to look at it now, or?
I'll wait till we get back.
Cool.
Yeah. There's lots of places we
coming-
haven't gone yet here, Orly.
We're coming back then, are we?
I'm assuming so.
Yeah,
This is an important place. It would be a disservice not to check wherever we can.
Okay, I like Hendrick's plan. Let's go elevator, rest, walk, rest again, eat, rest some more, and come back.
Good.
All right.
Everyone get up.
You guys want to leave back towards the elevator and look short in
Yes.
the elevator?
I'll go to see if Miss Neves
She stands.
is.
She's standing. She
Okay.
just says, "Well, I've dulled my blades on that stone. I'll need to sharpen them when we get back to the city."
Yeah. There'll be more. There'll be more.
Yeah.
Now to think of what to do next.
Well, you've done your duty, anyways. Can't say
I
I've
feel like
I've
it.
been in your situation, so I don't know if there is anything that I could say to make you feel better. Maybe it's just time itself that you need.
2 seconds.
Tim,
You said a few
Humor
seconds.
me,
Not
just
sure it's
my
back
memories.
yet.
oh, sorry, I didn't hear that.
Sorry, I'm back.
Sorry.
I'm back.
Okay. Hear me. I have a question for clarification for memory's
Uh-huh.
sake. We had issues with a fellow who could manipulate people's memories. I believe that was the necromancer we just talked to, right? Or not necromancer.
It was the
thing
six-fingered man.
Mhm.
So
You don't know who you spoke
That's-
to. He never addressed himself or
Oh,
called
it was a
himself
six-figure
anything
man who
such.
could manipulate memories. Gotcha. Okay. I knew I was uncertain for a reason. Okay, thank you very much. That's all I want to know.
And if I recall correctly, Limes was the second in command for the six-fingered man. So
Yeah.
Was he?
stands to reason. I think that was what
Yeah.
Sophia said before, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I
that's what
believe
Sophia
that's
said.
correct.
That's what she
Yeah.
knows. And what she told you.
That's what she told us. So it is entirely possible that is intended to be the six-fingered man, but who knows?
Okay. So while we're on the elevator, and we're all going to the elevator, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
You guys
We need to
have
get to the
a
elevator, though, as well.
brisk, quick walk back to the elevator in silent tombs. The statues, as you walk upstairs, still stay as they were. The fights, the battle scars of the displaced demons are all long gone. As you approach the elevator and knack your blood, someone to activate the mechanism, you guys can all start the short rest on the elevator, and I'll tell you guys when you arrive. You can
Right.
click the button.
Rest.
I've never done this on the actual sheet before.
Oh, there's a short rest.
What is this? From hit dice. Okay.
And Thor,
I'm just gonna do that.
while we're short resting, could you do me a
Yes.
favor and
That did
just
nothing.
go through your book and make sure, like the last couple of pages of notes that you've taken, and make sure that nothing stands out and memories haven't been altered or erased from that time. It's just paranoia.
Oh, that's what you gotta do. Okay.
You had a little
Yeah.
and then it applies it afterwards. Okay, sorry for interrupting the roleplay.
That's all right. Don't worry.
I've forgotten. How many can you use?
How do you?
All of them. Oh, the
How
half?
do you
It's strange, isn't it?
hit dice?
Yeah, so click the short rest, and
Okay.
they're like the little diamonds down bottom. Click those and then
Yeah.
click the short rest. That's it. I had the same issue.
What's the little diamonds with the hit dice you roll,
Because I have no.
and it applies it afterwards.
Sorry, just to clarify, how many can I roll? Half.
All of them, I think, actually.
You can roll them.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure it used to be half your hit dice on a short rest, but I don't know if it's
Yeah, I
changed.
think in this edition it used to be each long rest you got half of your maximum hit dice. I think in this edition you just get all your hit dice back after a long rest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The Torkel sits down in the elevator, or lies down, I suppose. Still, I assume, bleeding from a lot of places, and just like during his short rest, trying to he's healing himself with cure. Well, he's like healing himself with divine magic, but it looks like he's cauterizing like a bunch of wounds.
That's very cool. With the heat of the forge.
Yeah.
Sick.
Thor,
He puts his hand on top of his mace, and his gauntlet becomes glows with this orange light, I suppose, and then he starts putting it onto the wounds, and it smells like he's cauterizing them.
Thoric is, as he's resting, he is writing down all that was said in his journal.
There we go.
Nothing stands out. It appears as best as, talking to your 6 allies, sorry.
I need to take a really restroom, guys. I'll be right back.
No
Get to you without me.
You guys talk at all as you're heading up the elevator? For an hour?
Yeah.
At the surface?
So we have to make a decision. Do we continue to look for Philippa and the child? I don't trust him saying that they are safe and can never be harmed, but part of me thinks that maybe being in the middle of whatever stronghold he has will provide them at least a little protection from the outside, not necessarily protection from the maniac who runs it.
He said kingdom. That doesn't. What kingdom?
He could have been speaking in riddles as usual. I own a kingdom, it is underground, it is all of my terrible, awful employees.
Fairy
A man
tales.
who deals in what he deals in, and the trafficking of people, and the necromancy, and taking young female children and forcing them to do something but pretending it's their will. A more despicable person I have yet to meet.
Well, no, it's probably his literal kingdom to the northeast. Remember the necromancers been sending barbarian hordes to raid?
That is very true. Yeah, there are hundreds and hundreds of apostate tribes coming over the slumbering bluff to attack trade lines and the roads. In
Oh, I didn't tell you guys that. I'm sorry. That was
That
was the vision from my God. Don't worry about it. Yeah, okay. So the kingdom's to the northeast.
You take this hour to divulge the
All the
the
stuff
vision.
I forgot to tell you.
even about my son, or do you keep that?
Yeah, I thought I could have sworn I already told you about your son, but yes, I was pretty fucked up at that point. So
You got a new you were just out, you were straight out fucking out the door of Specsavers, and we went to bed. So
That's Specsavers. Yes, you're right. Yes. So I believe that he is to the northeast, more specifically Kalmarsha. To the northeast, I mean. I saw. Oh, that makes sense. Oh, his son. Right. Okay, so it was definitely him. Yeah, no, I know exactly where he is, guys. To the northeast, Kalmarsha. He out of spite and anger for the his son's death in a pointless military combat, he has spurned the government and the gods, and he is forming a coalition of barbarian and tribesmen northeast, and they are starting to attack in raiding parties. And he's building his force. I don't think he's conquered everything, but he is conquering tribes.
We should have taken part of the body.
That is a weird thing to drop. Any particular reason?
His son, if he's so upset, he's going to come and recover the parts of him, right?
I think
Oh.
he's done with him.
Seems like a weird decision if you're going to enact all of this because your son died in meaningless battle. I thought he would be at least a little attached.
Maybe he's just grown past that.
We need to find out what this White Rose organization is.
Yes.
If it's as
So
much as
what
a
did-
threat to them as he
Okay,
was.
so what do we know about the White Rose just from what he told us? They're a secret buddy club within
A Seventh Order.
Seventh Order. I don't recall anything of that description of the White Rose. Has anyone here heard of the White Rose before? Or the Seventh Order or any of that?
I've quite
Mhm.
literally been living under a rock for the last 30 years, so no.
Military orders are not my strong suit. I don't know anything about them.
I've been fairly focused on my own things.
Really, this might sound like a stretch. Did we ever
Learn
learn the?
Roll me a history check, please.
It'd be a
5. No.
Hail Hydra moment.
Let's not even listening to the conversation. Let's not even listening to this conversation. He has gone. He has sat in a corner of the lift somewhere, and he is still just 1,000 yards staring into the walls.
Yeah.
Hendrik, I imagine you probably took those 3 pieces of the urn, like, and probably put it in your backpack.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. Thank you
yeah.
for yes, I absolutely friggin' did.
No.
No Ash kinda.
No.
But at least the urn is that feels like a hollow
From-
victory.
What you gathered from his words is that whatever he needed the urn to do was to move
Yeah.
whatever he needed the slate to do onto the child. That was the urn's purpose.
Yeah.
The contents, you unsure if that was crucial to that, but whatever responsibility Philippa and young Camilla need to fulfill, no longer Slate does not have to be part of it, and that seemed to be
Yeah, no, I
Camilla's
don't-
or Philippa's wish.
I don't think this is gonna end well for them.
I mean, imagine getting told, "Oh, your wife only fell in love with you to fulfill an evil necromancer's plan," and her way of involving in it was to have a kid and then sacrifice the kid to the cause that you were supposed to be tricked into.
Yeah. A lot
Well,
of it.
someone's got to tell him.
Okay, well, Liranok, do you want to tell him the truth, or do you want me to tell him a lie?
I have to tell him the truth.
The truth.
You can't handle the truth. What was Hendrik
Good
going to
man.
ask Orly?
We could just tell him that. Okay, well, you know what? Even the lie is gonna hurt. I don't like this situation. Life is cruel. Okay, we'll tell him the truth.
The elevator arrives, And as you all step foot off it and walk towards the ruins, the front step of the ruins, it is still dark sky above. The wind's picked up a bit, dripping cats and dogs, big heavy goblets of water coming down. You pull your cloaks back on for being in the Underdark. The magical illusion reforms over it, covering it once again. Reset. This is a secret. Will you choose to share it? Who knows? Where do you go now?
The bed.
To bed.
You can go to the House
The
of Baldry.
food and then bed.
Right? Safe enough there. We've been there before.
Yeah.
Yep.
You venture off, leaving the Laurel Highland, and what is strange to you is such a 180 reverse from being in Underdark, these vast complex of temples and strange alien ancient ruins and fighting for your lives, and you're now in the bespoke mercantile aristocratic-esque high life society of the hills which look over the massive city of Breakwater. Business commerce resumes. People in high fashion walk the streets, bloodied and sweaty, and best you can do, covered up from the rain. You head through back, checking from an angel's grasp through the Kraken Gateway into the large cathedral-like superstructure of the Streets of Invocation, and head towards the great South House of Baldry, where you see the familiar great hallway of the double doors that opened up. A little less occupied last time you were here, but the communal eatery, lodgings, bedding of vast hallways of this large structure, and welcomed in from familiar priests who have passed by you guys a couple of times now.
I think it's calmed down fully outside since the evacuation of Liberty District.
Yeah, it has. Yeah, there seems to be a little bit slower pace, normalcy about the city since all that's happened. People are talking about it. People are like, "Oh, I heard this and I heard that. And, oh, I heard the official figure is 971 arrested." And someone else says, "Oh, I think that they're going to activate the gate in a couple of days to ship them all to Eland," and all this kind of rumors and and wow, who knew there were so many truth callers around the city and various rumors like that you hear in the way in. It's getting like about 6 p.m. now. You guys have been venturing for a couple hours. And you find lodgings. Luckily, because the South House is a bit quieter now, you do find a private room with only 8 beds in it, but you guys are able to persuade a priest after your battle fatigue to have the room to yourself to rest and recuperate. Sophia joins you guys this time around. Thanks to a truth caller's persuasion and a various back and forth, you managed to persuade to let Sophia in past the Kraken Gateway. On the grounds that she has nowhere else to go, she's battle injured and she fought with you. And and she's allowed in on a.
She's on probation, is she?
Yeah, she's got a visitor permit. She's been told she has to go out the next 14 days to go and get a identity stone or face eviction from a city.
Sorry, don't know why I'm laughing so hard at that.
Okay, you guys are in a privy room. As I said, 8 beds, dual cots, so 4 at the ground floor above, double decked. There's a small hearth which has now been lit as you guys kind of come in. At cheeses and a cold, chilled glass of water which has been fetched for you guys, or jug of water. What do you do now?
I'm writing a letter under the basis of just being told from Hendrik's vision about the update on my son. As much as I can recollect, and as much, I'm pretty sure it was probably paraphrased a lot and summarized because it was not the most important thing to talk about of the 2 visions. So I'm going to write a brief summary of what I was told, and in Thieves' Cant as much as I can. You can trust the postal service these days, you know what it's like.
You can. One thing just to make known is one of the things that I think that was at the tail end of Hendrik's vision, which would have shared with the party, was that this man, this necromancer man with his legions of apostate tribes seem to be turning his attention towards a gap, a fiery blue flamed gap in the mountains, which doesn't take a high history check to pass that success. He seems to be looking towards Eliza's Gap, the gateway into the Badlands of Kalmarsha, famously defended by the Order of the Sacred Bastion.
Is it like deserts over that way?
Kalmarsha, make a nature check.
Sure thing. We like them.
It's a wasteland of black sand, fetid, putrid mountains, boiling lava. But there are some parts of Kalmarsha which maintain forests, groves, and more similar parts
Kind
of
of like
normalcy.
Mirkwood kind of vibes. Or
yeah, I
actual
mean, it's
proper forests.
extremely wild. With the 19, the area is enumerated with super large creatures. Let's just say it's why Barrazir has her Claire on this side of the Slumbering Bluff and not on the other side. There are creatures there that
that
could
threaten
harm a
her.
dragon. Yeah.
Oh Jesus, that's not
with a
terrifying.
With a 19, there are monstrosities where creatures, townships are built in the bones of dead giants.
That's cool. Cool. Well, anyways, the letter I'm only gonna really kind of like talk. I'm not gonna talk about anything other than the business of our son.
Okay. Yeah.
And whenever I can, if I can do it today or
You can do
tomorrow
it
when we
today.
leave, I'll say
How fast do you want it to get there?
Yeah, as fast as it's like 10 gold or something, is it?
Yeah, 10 gold for direct Wayfarer express delivery from the Church of Thestia.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Okay, mark off 10 gold. Cool. All right. Orly writes his letter. Does anyone else do anything?
Great to sleep for Torkel.
I think would Thork have seen you already writing a letter?
Yeah, I wasn't trying to hide it or anything like that. Might have been kind of secretive about what I was writing.
Oh yeah, Thork wouldn't have looked in as to what you were writing, but just
yeah.
Yeah, I think Thork is going to write a letter to that someone, Cypher.
Okay. To whom? Or you can message me what the other details are. Whatever you choose.
Yeah, I'll message
Or what
to
is
you.
it?
Special someone. It's Thorik's mom.
We haven't met Silver MILF Dragon Lady yet.
Oh God.
Cypher!
Silver MILF Dragon Lady, that's the name of the episode, gotcha.
God damn it.
This is why every D&D character is an orphan.
The most evil villain, the
Sweetest
one that
little old
banished
lady you guys have ever seen. You're going to feel really bad when you meet her. You already thought so.
Your fault. You planted
Yeah,
milk
it
in our
is.
brains.
Yeah, it is your fault.
No, you refer to her as a MILF. You started
can't say
this.
you were dirty-minded when you've manipulated us to think that way.
Mother, I'd like to find out more about.
Okay.
If when you introduce the character, let me know because I have a bunch of
You know-
you could use.
Oh, the lusty Argonian made all over again.
Yeah.
Hey, Torkel, that map.
Oh yeah.
Argonian. Oh fuck! Sorry, the Argonian made the book. The section you read is like Act 7. So it's like they've been doing this shit the entire.
Listen, you literally have a character called Lifts Her Tail in that. What do you think it's
Yeah.
gonna be?
I know, but it's like
Oh,
an hour in, and they're still like.
We gotta stop or we'll be talking
I am
about it
glad
forever.
I'm on my.
Yeah.
I'm on this can. That's helpful to this.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's.
Sorry about
I'll
that.
review the map then before it goes to bed, in case he dies in his sleep.
Okay.
Hmm.
You
More
pull it
lucky
out.
than you might think.
You pull out the map from the scroll, and it's immediately clear to you that this is a strange-looking map. As you show it to the party, it's very much strangely marked in thieves' cant.
Oh,
Hmm.
It is obfuscated to what its true patterns are. But Orly, do you want to take a look at it?
Sure.
You see a map of roughly the lower region of the Concord plus areas to the east. You see that the furthest part of the Kamalshire Plains takes you about, a decent couple 100 miles from what you can gauge. There's breakwater in it, Rackmere. It has Heliza's Gap marked, and it has the East Cairn Fort marked. And somewhere in the middle of Calmarsha, there's a place referred to as the City of Spines.
Cool.
And in between, and somewhere, it's not exact, but best you can tell, because it's like very rudimentary drawings, but it's kind of strangely obfuscated the way the thieves' cant works. You can see that there is somewhere on the eastern side of the Slumbering Bluffs a marked location, but it's not named.
How far away from the bluffs is it? Like towards
For you guys right now,
with the unmarked? The marked but unnamed location. How far?
it looks like it's roughly like in the foothills to the eastern side of the Slumbering Bluff.
Oh, okay. Does it? I mean, okay. Hear me out here, Cypher.
Yes.
Do you know the way when you're kind of like circling something or marking something out of importance, you generally tend to have it at like a darker kind of you highlight it a lot harder and make it more kind of like to emphasize it more. How emphasized is this unnamed marking?
Make an investigation check, please.
Sure. Not bad.
You smart motherfucker.
Oh,
So, Orly, as you kind of like move the piece of paper around and scan, it's not that it's in the writing, it's not that it's in the diagram, but the way the paper is folded in amongst itself, there's a pattern. And the way the pattern moves is it shows that there is a pattern of movement from the City of Spines through the Heliza Gap, and at the left edge of this map where it runs out is Eland.
Christ, where's Eland again?
It's west of Erith.
Central. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I
North
see
of
it.
Bard.
The way the paper's folded, it's like it wants to go, this travel route wants to go from the City of Spines in the middle of Calmarsha all the way through to Eland.
So it's like an S kind of journey.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Direct, pretty direct. It's not taking roads, it's just direct right to
Oh,
it.
gotcha. As the crow flies, I gotcha.
As the crow flies, yeah. And because it's the way the paper's been folded, it's like a straight shot. And the little marked off place, there's a little extra fold in there to show that connects to the path. The little dot in the Slumbering Bluff Hills on the east side that connects to the main line. Like it'll feed into there and nothing else joins it or attaches onto it. So
Okay.
whoever is, possibly going to go from the City of Spines towards Eland, that extra dot in the Slumbering Bluff is connected to that somehow.
Okay. I'm working all this out. I'm working on this out loud, by the way, guys.
Yeah.
We're all up to date here. So triangulate is not a very fantasy friendly word, but how do we? What can we make from this? That teleportation circle. I don't know a lot about magic. I know enough to know that because due to experience, when you go through one of those, you can go pretty far away. This guy talked about a whole empire. Our teleportation could be to this unnamed location in Kalmarsha, for all we know. Probably best that we don't go through it. Or it could be a land. Why a land? Is it some form of
Roll a history check about Eland if you want.
or Eland, sorry. Is it
Yeah.
some form of staging grounds perhaps, or there's resources there maybe?
The most famous thing about Eland that everybody knows, it's where this country harvests its most valuable resource, which is veinstone.
Yeah.
Sole place you can find it in the world.
Cypher.
Yeah.
I don't live too far away from that mine. What's the traffic like? Kind of like maybe around 50 miles like north of that mine, within the forest.
In the forests.
Yeah.
There's a handful of hamlets, denizens of the forest that live around there. Eland's a very, very loud, busy place. It's also basically a prison labor camp as well.
Oh. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know of that place then.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, everyone
Yeah.
knows where Eland is. It's where you end up. It's where you don't want to end up.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. I think I've been there. Or at
You would
least
definitely
close
have
to
helped
it.
out with a prisoner shipment.
Yeah,
from
I
Erith
think
to
I
Eland.
think I would have definitely been there. For one instance at least.
Mhm.
What's the security like there?
Really high.
Yeah.
Probably the only other places that you've seen from a policing point of view, it's policed by tier, but a special contingent of brass shields patrols it. Like dedicated like prisoner responsibility, prisoner work camp labor stuff. Thousands of brass shields there to control
Right,
tens of
okay.
thousands of prisoners. And then the priests of Kinos help aggressively with the machinery because nothing magical can happen there. So incredibly complex crane systems and levies
It's all
and
labor.
rates are used. It's all labor to mine that veinstone. And then all the veinstone is transported. Oh, thank you very much. The veinstone is all transported eastwards towards a series of barges, which takes it on a river in towards Erith. Or even more hurtfully, is it ends up on the road all the way going towards by road all the way to Edgecrest and Arbroath Fort and Oakhart.
I know we're all
Okay.
tired, but I don't know what to make of this.
Well, who are you
Plans
going
within
to ask
plans.
about?
I don't know. Is it I can't brain right now. Hazlizas? Is that what it's called? The gap?
Eliza's.
Eliza's gap.
Eliza's. I think maybe we should probably check that out if we do decide to head towards that the dragon's lair. If we're still doing that.
Oh, the dragon. I forgot about the dragon. Isn't
Nobody forgets about Barbazier.
Isn't wait a second. Yeah, isn't okay, hold on. The two dragons that we have within Concord, isn't their progenitor, their like parent dragon in Kalmarsha right now?
No,
No.
The parent is Barazir. They're on the border between Kalmarsha and
Yeah.
Oh, is it
Canopy, I
the
think.
Slumbering Bluff or whatever?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think Slumbering Bluff, isn't it?
Okay.
And then we've got two that we know of blue dragons. One which is
Yeah.
in the
Sunless Citadel.
the Sunless Citadel, and one which is we know the rough area because we were given that by them. And I'm assuming there are other dragons because again we've met.
Yeah, the one at the
I
funeral.
want to say he was a silver dragon at the funeral.
I think
Yeah.
it was silver. Yeah.
So, and I'm assuming he might. I mean, they might not be the only ones. There might be more dragons in the Concord lands.
I think there's at least a few.
Yeah, probably.
They're probably just laying low, or because
More a case of chromatic dragons tend to stand out more.
I mean, there's gonna be dragons in Kalmarsha. There has to be. If he's sending dragons to frickin' Concord, where there's a treaty, surely send him to Kalmarsha where they don't have treaty. Okay. Listen, I'm okay. I'm okay slaying some dragons if you guys want to. I'm not gonna stand in the way of that. It's fine. It's on the way.
But what is the way? I suppose that's what I'm asking or
Let's-
proposing.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was gonna ask. We got two options. One's obvious, which is past Cairn Fort. That's the pass there, and we just go into Kalmarsha that way, and try and get information from the locals.
Yeah.
Option 2, and this is the weird one. What if we find the Order of the White Rose?
Well,
And buddy up.
So we just go and find the Illuminati. You know, we'll
I mean-
stumble on it, right?
I feel like
I
that is
mean,
a
found
very
the
good
Underdark.
overarching goal. However, the steps between where we are now and achieving that are a mystery to me.
But
I mean, I think
we do have.
we just pop down to the corner shop and we just bump into the Silver Rose member, right?
Do you want anything on your way?
You
For
know
now.
Is this snideness in character from Mirnock, or is this?
I'm assuming there's like a washroom in wherever we're staying.
Yeah.
Leonok is in that washroom. He has not been in the room this whole time.
Okay.
There's like I'm assuming Cypher, like with a lot of towns, there's like the forum post that people put
Yeah.
up, advertise things. Yeah, so we could put notes on those posts, ask if anyone knows where they are.
No, that's not.
the White Rose.
I got a better idea. We got a friend in this city, Breakwater, who is high level
What?
within the Order of Tier. We ask them about it and see if we can get information from them.
Ah. Entirely possible.
Thorg,
That could work.
you have access to libraries, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's the Illuminati, they're not going to leave books.
It's better than asking in a forum, I think. Or maybe it's not. Maybe word of mouth is. I don't know.
If they're a secret military order, we should talk to people who are militant and in dealing with secret order. Let's go as high as we can.
You want to go and speak to Jerome, the Marshal of Jurisprudence?
I wanted to pick my long rest button. That's what I want to
Okay, you go to sleep. I'll go work.
do. Good.
Okay. Okay.
I'll
You
go
guys
alone. If I'm
can
dead,
hold long
the
rest
room
while
is
you want,
part
and
of
then
the-
I'll go tomorrow, or Hendrik could go by himself.
No,
if he
Hendrik wants to go now.
I'm going
I'm resting.
immediately. If I'm
going to
do
go to the
not
library
return-
tomorrow.
Jerome is part of the White Rose Order, and I'm dead.
You're going alone. Just because I'm not going doesn't mean nobody else can go.
Well, Lyranok's washing his clothes or whatever. Orly, do you wanna go? Yeah, no, it's like 10 o'clock at midnight or whatever. I'm gonna go alone.
I'm like
It-
90.
Okay.
Some conversations are better between followers of the same faith, you know?
I take it the rest of the party's just long resting, just chilling out, not doing anything else.
Oh,
to-
Well,
tomorrow
we can't
I'm
speak
going-
for Miss Neves, but
Nunavez is fucking pooped as well. She's just
Yeah,
gonna
okay.
chill.
Lennox will be, but Lennox has been watching this whole time, and he has been obsessively cleaning his hands, like on and like proper scraping at them to the point where they're all like probably rubber red, like raw and everything. And he is just muttering under his breath, just going, "Get the blood off, get the blood off, get the blood off, wash the hands, clean it off, clean off." And he's going to be doing that for this whole time.
Okay.
yeah, it looks like you're on your own, Hendrik.
Endrick, you head towards Liberty Corner. You leave the Temple District through the very much more calm section of the city. There's still a brass shield contingent towards most entrances, just on the come down of peacefulness, returning to Liberty Corner. And you head towards the remaining temple of Droom from which he summoned. And you do see the front doors are open, and it looks like actual material possessions are leaving. It looks like, and they're getting loaded on the wagons. So whatever belongings that are tangible, that are not summoned, are being loaded out of the place. Looks like it's getting ready to move. And you're Truth Caller. You're accepted in the order. You ask for directions towards Droom, and you're led by one of those bodyguard knights with a big silver sword, big silver greatsword, towards the lion haste door within the back kind of centrifugal chamber of the temple. And you knock on the door, and the knight goes in, speaks to Droom, comes out, and you're gestured in. And you're in basically a small study room with Droom and an armed guard. As he's in his it's probably about 8 o'clock now after all this has happened. So he's in his evening gown robe, still with his big pendant and an armored greave. And he looks up at you, and just waits for your address. And he says, "Truth Caller Hendrik, do you have any news to report?"
Yes. But before we do, there's a guard. Out of character. There's a guard in the room.
No, just a single one, yeah.
Okay. Is the guard? This conversation is going to be about things that we don't want people to hear. Is he fine?
Raises a single good eye. The cataract one looks in the same direction. He's as good as any man you'll find.
Okay. I've been tracking a necromancer for the last month and a bit. We have tracked him down to some ruins nearby, and he got away. But the interesting thing was that he was expecting an ambush by a different group of people. And I am looking to maybe work with this group of people because we both apparently want this one necromancer dead. Have you ever heard of the Order of the White Rose? And I am going to insight check and see his fucking elephant features changing.
Make an insight check.
Or DC 35.
Yeah, it's
Oh yeah.
Thing is, Droom doesn't lie.
God damn it.
12. He is unmoving. You hear the door go ka-dunk from a mental command from him as it locks.
Yeah.
And the knight firms up.
You got your backup ready?
And
Oh, yeah.
Droom sets the inkwell down to his side and puts it in the pot on the resting hook. Looks at you really intently, studies you really intently. Are you trying to hide anything, guard yourself at all?
No, I am making it very obvious that I am looking at his expressions and studying him as I say this.
Okay.
32. What the fuck was that for?
Don't worry about it.
Looks at you and really studies you. And this lasts for maybe a couple seconds.
17.
That's That's 20 in expertise.
God, the DM's a power gamer, guys.
The DM asking you, are you trying
I'm
to
using
hide
someone
anything?
else's character sheet. I'm using someone else's character sheet someone made a long time ago. He looks at you. He looks at you and says, "Well, you're no assassin. That's clear from the arrogance you've strode in here to reveal this information, and you haven't immediately drawn weapons. So I can see that you are earnest in a question of something that you wish to be exposited upon. I told you that truth calling is a separate order from that of the Inquisitors." And he lifts up his collar, and you see that 3-petaled chain. This is a mark of membership to the White Rose. When I gave you those necklaces, it was the start of your introduction. Usually people don't even know the name of the order until their second petal. If this target of yours is afraid of us, that is good reason for you to be very cautious, Hendrik. You have wandered into something very large. The White Rose does not pay attention, usually, to small matters involving, no offense given, but people of your abilities and your companions. He rolls his thumb over his finger and starts to kind of circle his thumb, his finger ring around, like moving it around. The White Rose exists to protect the Concord from threats it cannot involve itself within a brass shield or a Silver Templar manor. I didn't think I'd have to have such a curt explanation given to you so soon. I thought it'd be months until you returned with news of your completion of hunting down
That
this
doesn't
necromancer.
sound outside the realm of what I've been doing for decades, centuries. What makes the White Rose Order unique?
Stands up from his desk. Its founder, the White Rose. They showed themselves, starts to kind of pace around the room like in a circle around the circular chamber around you. The knight still stays in place, ready to move if you make a move. They were found to have extraordinary capabilities. Ones that have never been replicated by anyone else. Not within their bloodline. But because of their talents, we were able to subdue the greatest evil this world has ever known, and our people have ever faced. It cost the White Rose much. It cost the lives of thousands of us, of my order. But this was a long time ago. I was not born during these times, many hundred years. I am old, but not that old. And since its foundation, it has existed as the outward protector of the most foul evils this country has to worry about. And you may be questioning, why such ease to induction and recruitment? And he's now done a full pace around the room and starts the second. That is a good question, one I've been asked many times. The Hierophants deemed the White Rose's purpose should alter during the last war, and we should be used as a regular military force. And because of that, we were highly effective. But our order hemorrhaged numbers. We weren't designed to be an out-and-out combat force. We were a needle-point strike at the neck. We weren't military formations and cavalry charges, but we still had a great impact on the war effort. And now as evil rises again, our numbers are heavily diminished and we need to rebuild for what's coming next.
I take it that Slate was part of your order then?
Slate? This man you spoke of? No. No,
Really?
not at all.
Wait, out of character. Slate was not him. Who was the guy we just defeated 3 sessions ago who had the artifact of Tyr?
Oh, Cole? The Hydra?
Cole. Yeah, Cole. Yeah, Cole. Because he was a member of. Damn it, City.
He was part of a
There.
Hydra syndicate, criminal syndicate.
I don't know.
Sorry,
But he was
I'm coughing Slate because of his
Wasn't he-
lineage was
Yeah.
more what I was going off.
Wasn't Cole a member of Tyr though?
No, Cole was a thief. He stumbled across an artifact which
Oh.
travels realms and made
Okay.
use of it to
Okay.
distract us. You
Oh.
do not know this part, but I shouldn't be here. I
Hmm.
shouldn't be in Liberty Corner tidying up civil disobedience, but I was needed. I was pulled because of the artifact's appearance, because someone knew where to look for it to give it to nefarious powers. The enemy. The only enemy that matters to this country. Not Tailland. Not the Sea Princes. Not raiding tribes from Kalmarsha.
Boom.
Do you know of any history of the domination?
DM, roll a history check if you don't
Yeah,
mind.
well, history check.
Let's go. 4.
Oh, no.
6.
No, you do not.
Yeah, but how do I say that without sounding like an idiot?
I can't recall the details,
I'm
but if
vaguely
you could,
familiar, but I believe I was in a different part of the Concord when that happened.
I was soul searching.
You weren't born when the domination took hold. He gestures for you to sit down at a chair in front of the desk.
I look around for a bar, open bar.
I mean, there's a goblet of wine on the table, on the chest.
I'm not gonna take his. Okay, I was looking for wine.
There's a
of-
glass.
Yeah,
He said, "He like let
I
know
guess
you,
still
you
one
can have a
glass.
glass
Like,
if you
oh, an
glass of
open
wine
bar.
as well."
Okay, yeah, I'll sit down. I'll be quiet.
This information usually is restricted to the second petal, but I feel, in anticipation for what you need to know, to even obtain your second petal, you must know it now.
Are you sure that you don't want to temper this information that you're about to give me?
Thinks on it. I'm leaving tomorrow, back to the major war effort. What I say now is given in part to you and to disseminate to your allies as you see fit. Your troop now massively is entangled in a great strife. And you must choose, as my truth caller, and now inducted into the White Rose with your necklace as a single petal, how to proceed. Now back to the domination. Over 5 centuries ago, a lich, a powerful sorcerer, arose. And lich is underselling their abilities. They started off in a small hold of villages and battled against what was left of a kingdom. He created a nation, named it after his old family crest, Valetti. But he had powers that the Hierophants can't even conjure, from what we can tell. And with his power, he took the 10 most formidable sorcerers and wizards that fought him and brought them into his clutches and his order, he had the demons of hell crawl upon their bodies and rewire their souls to be utterly loyal to him. The 10 who were taken. The White Rose was a woman born in the forest of a gigantic wood, who was born with the similar abilities to that of Vainstone. She was a null. No magic could be cast around her, and as she aged and grew in power, the null zone around her grew larger and larger and more potent. She was the only weapon that could fight against the Dominator, as he would become to be known. Hundreds of thousands died, bringing the end to the Dominator, and this was the purpose the White Rose was created for. Thousands of paladins from many old orders and mercenary companies and others joined the White Rose to fight against the Dominator in his homeland. A great crusade was called, and we left Erith, left it defenseless for a time, and I refer to this as we, as the Order. I wasn't personally there. And they slain him. But he couldn't just be killed. He had to be entombed and buried and imprisoned. And with all help of the White Rose, and every power of the gods, of all 12 of them, they built a tomb and entombed the Dominator and the 10 who were taken so that they never rise again. And we left the Crypt Guard to stay and ward off. Gets a kind of solemn look in his face. And it was decided by the White Rose that no knowledge of the Dominator, bar his whereabouts or what the war had taken, could be known. And the White Rose expunged living memory of those that knew where and how and what the true costs and history of the defeat of the Dominator was. But it was the greatest war this continent has ever seen since that of the fall of this ancient times between giants and dragons. And the reason you don't know about it is because the Concord does not teach it. What we are fighting against now is the resurrection. Somehow he returned, the Dominator. We don't know how. He broke free of the Barrowland decades ago, and we only realized a few years previous. And the Order, the White Rose, is dedicated to entombing and slaying the Dominator once again. But Hendrik, and he gets a really sad look, and just merciful look on his face. We don't have a White Rose this time. And we don't know how we're going to win. Or have a chance of winning. The gods say they will provide a solution. There has been prophecy that the White Rose will reincarnate, but they have not shown to be true just yet. This is my life. What last years I have of it left is Droom, and as the Marshal of Jurisprudence, this running the Truth Callers, it keeps my wits and battle sense about me, but I am a full-tiered member of the White Rose, and when I am not in the Concord, I am fighting the enemies of domination and the new taken. That's a hang in the air. You must have questions.
My gut tells me the less I know, the better. Okay.
Here preaches safe knowledge internment. And yes, it does conflict with the values of the church we both hold ourselves to.
Well, I'm going to be going after an enemy which doesn't like your order.
Which means he
And
must be connected to the Taken, or at least some
Yeah.
lieutenant of the Dominator.
yeah,
The risk is great to you.
yeah, that lines up a lot actually. But if we're going after him, I mean, I don't know if I'm going to succeed without help. And if I do fail, I don't want to be captured and then have all this information about the only other chance of stopping him that we have. So we have to be
You're
careful.
not the only one. There are...
See, even that is more information that he can get out of me.
The White Rose is rebuilding because of poorly planned and timed decisions by the Hierophants to use them as a martial wing, when truthfully the White Rose should have remained at strength, awaiting the Dominator's eventual resurgence. And now we are weak and on the back foot. This is why military commanders, grand masters, arch-zealots, those who have reputable stakes in our society have had access to the chains. Most don't even know how far the chain up the White Rose goes. But they have been told to mark individuals and induct them on the path of petals to rebuild the White Rose.
I'm going to assume, I mean, I don't want to sound arrogant here. And if I am, I apologize. I assume I'm one of those marks.
Yes, but it seems your friend Thoric was the first to obtain his necklace. But all of
not a
your
competition.
friends,
Ooh.
It's only not a
All of your
competition when
party.
you're lower.
all of your party has been marked on the path of petals.
Even Orly?
What the
You
fuck
were
does
at
that mean?
breakfast. You were at breakfast when I handed all of the necklaces out. Do you not remember?
Oh, no, yes, I do. I just
It was this
just
morning.
wanted. Yes, listen, it's been a long day, but
That
I
was this
understand.
morning?
Yeah.
Just want
Sorry,
to verify.
I'll shut up.
Okay, well, we're all of us are already knee deep in this, and we're just going to be wading in deeper. We were planning on going to Kalmarsha and just, I don't know how to say it other than beat information out of people and maybe cause some chaos. And
That's a treacherous place.
yeah,
The
I mean,
Valeti
yeah,
Empire lays siege to the westerlands of Kalmarsha and makes ground to siege the city of Spines. I thought that was the reason why the Apocalyptic tribes are pushing west, fleeing the Valeti war machine, but it could be more now that you've given me this information.
I can guarantee you that it's more.
Roses
I think
fell
that-
last year.
What did?
Now, the free city of Roses is now under the Valeti rule. They
Oh.
have great assets now. The era of
Okay.
domination of the next domination is trying to take hold.
Yeah.
And you're not to repeat this unto anyone outside the White Rose Order. Your allies accept, you entertain risks, you're a truth caller, you know the difficulty of maintaining information and power
Yeah,
over
some of them-
information.
Some of them talk too much.
They do. Watch the Bahamut one.
Yeah, no, I know.
Hendrik, and he leans in the chair, and the chair kind of creaks a little bit. We can't fail on this. If the Dominator's back with his new taken, as we believe, we can't fail.
Do we have? Okay. If I go into the library of Bahamut, will I find more information about the Dominator?
No. Or the White Rose.
Yeah,
Or anything
that,
about the
that
period of
goes without
domination.
saying. But okay.
This was a joint decision by Bahamut and Tyr. Best left history.
Okay. I have additional information that I am piecing together, but I feel there's a gap there, or at least I feel like I'm taking too many leaps of logic. There was an urn stolen years ago. It contained the ashes of a knight. I can't remember the name of that knight. Whatever. And there, it was stolen by the necromancer, and also the necromancer had a woman and a infant. Infant? No, it wasn't an infant. It was a child. A girl of the age of, I'll say 3 or 4. I can't remember human years. She might have been 15. I don't know. The ash has been gone. There's some sort of magical something going on with that whole deal, and I'm worried that this girl, this is the leap of logic, right? The girl is going to be turned into some sort of vessel of the slain person. Does that make sense? Like a resurrection via new body?
It has been known that demons and devils can inhabit mortal vessels if they're willing. Surrender
What about
themselves to it.
mortal souls?
Any immortal soul loyal to the 12 ends up in heaven. They're unable to return unless ordained by the church.
And I don't know what the ashes for the night were for then.
That's a mystery.
But apparently they're incredibly important to someone whose plans I'm trying to wreck, so it'd be really helpful if I could figure out what that was for.
Hendrik, yes, this morning I received a letter about attending an audience with the new Archzealot of Breakwater.
Right.
I've had word that I must go to the Barrowland to defend the crypt from Valetti forces. I'm leaving someone here. They may be able to help you out, but I have to go. The new Taken are proving more difficult to deal with than we thought. They're nigh unkillable.
Where's the Barrowland? Is that to the north or is that to the east?
It's many thousands of miles to the east. I'll be gone for some time.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It was, remember where we released the Dominator?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
our bad.
Okay.
I don't know if I'll return, but I'll leave Arcus in charge.
Yeah, I have a feeling this is probably going to be the last time we see each other.
Perhaps. I've armed you with information. And I've given you armaments and many other things. But you've done well in Liberty Corner to expunge Cole and help return. And you have a marked gift from Tyr with his sight. Use that to your advantage. Watch for enemies in the darkness. We don't just have, unfortunately, the domination to worry about. Teoland is always a thorn in the side of everything that happens in this country.
Okay. Well, I guess I should say good night and good luck.
We'll see if I have both my eyes when you see me next. I might be in an urn. My friend taught me to make jokes, but I'm not very good at them.
Yeah. We might be dead too.
Oh,
We'll see what
he's
happens.
long gone.
Okay.
Farewell, Hendrik. And he stands up to shake your hand with a large elephant grip. Like just grasps both your hand in his and just shakes it.
I'll shake his hand. I don't think Hendrix had someone in a very, very long time where he could just be completely open. And
if you seek answers,
I don't have to have any
answers.
Go ahead. Yeah. Who should I contact?
Find the Hierophant in the capital, the Hierophant of Tyr, and tell them you're under my personal express permission to speak with him.
Okay. Well, that'll help.
But
Where is he located? Erith, right?
he's in the capital, yes.
Here. Okay. Good. Okay. Okay. Well. Okay.
This temple will dissipate by sunrise.
Yeah.
And
No, I
me and
figured.
most will be gone. Arcus will fill in for the meeting with the New Year Zealot. He'll wait for you outside. He'll be representing my office and what we've done in Liberty Corner.
Okay.
Farewell, and I wish you
Farewell.
the White Rose's favor. As Hendrik
Yeah, I'll
leaves,
just-
and
I'll
after all
walk
that,
out.
let's go ahead and take a 10-minute break.
Cool. Can we mark down long rest, or will we wait?
You guys both need to wait till Hendrik's back.
Cool. Okay. Be back in 10.
That's when the demons attack.
Demons in this economy?
Cool. So you're going to tell Thork everything that you were told, so Thork can write down, right?
I'm going to tell Thork nothing but lies. Just to fuck with him.
With the weight of almost a mountain on your back, in just stress from learning this information, Hendrik, you wander back to your allies in the South House of Bouldry, or do you go somewhere else? What do you do?
Wasn't I supposed to? Do I not have to have a conversation with someone outside the gate?
No, there's Arcus, which is like his right hand man. That was the mage who
okay.
teleported you guys when you wanted
Yeah.
to, teleport. So he said he'll be around tomorrow morning for a meeting with the he'll stand in Droom's
Okay.
place.
Good to know. I thought there was a conversation waiting for me outside the door, but if there's not, then that's fine. I will head back. I guess. Yeah, nothing else comes to mind. I head back to the group.
Okay.
Back to the inn.
What
Or I
does
imagine-
Hendrik look like when he comes in to rejoin the party? Does he look any different? Does he look stressed or anything?
He looks very tired.
Hmm.
Even if Hendrik's not good at like hiding certain emotions, he's really good at overlaying other emotions on top of them. Chaff emotions, I guess. He's very tired and angry and a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Also, the missing urn of Rakmir quest is complete, so I get to get a big complete there.
Do we level up? Level up?
Insert
Level up? Do we
star
level
and
up? Level up?
complete
Do we level up?
quest noise.
What's that?
Yeah. We have to ship it back. Well, I guess I give it. Can we go back or just give it to Jerome because he's head that way anyways, isn't he?
You don't know how he's traveling to the Barrowland.
No, fine. But he was loading into carts and shit. Okay, fine. We'll do it some other way.
I mean, yeah, you could give it to him if you wanted to, and say like, "Oh, I found this. Can you make
Yeah.
sure this gets back to Rakmir and the crypts?" Absolutely,
Yeah.
100%. You can do that. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. Yeah. Okay. Good. That's done with. Kind of. I feel like I failed, but at least we got the urn. Fuck.
Does
Okay.
that mark the first quest that we've completed in this campaign?
No, you completed the Eye of Tyr, you completed the Sunless Citadel, and you completed the funeral of Nathaniel Everstone.
That's fair.
Yeah, we rescued the two kids. Remember?
Mm-hmm. That's true.
What have you got? The Vainstone Mystery, the Apostate Tribes
Yeah.
and their madness, Stodie's missing child,
Oh yeah.
and Mystery of the Azamar.
Damn it, study really. Yeah, honestly, Torkel's that whole thing is always in the back of my mind. So it sucks we never really got a resolution to it, but
You're meeting whoever that contact is in a couple of days' time.
Oh yeah.
It is 2 days, I guess, technically 3 days from now.
Yeah.
Forgot all about that. We can't go anywhere. We should just stay here, right? I'm asleep. What am I talking about?
No, we can't. The ruins, right, are right outside town. We can go.
Oh
in
yeah,
there,
we want to
down,
go back. I forgot. I'm asleep.
fight some stuff, kill some stuff. That's for tomorrow. We should take a long rest immediately, right?
Would everybody
I'm
like
ready
a
to-
long rest?
I would like a long rest.
Yes, please.
Okay. Feeling very safe in the southeast of Boldry, where there are patrolling guards with cudgels and
boy.
batons. You'll get cuzzled up into your homes. You hear the guards pass by for the next couple hours. You hear not much as you all slowly fade into sleep. Blackness, inky darkness. And then the dawn light pours in from a window, and you can all have a long rest.
Nice.
And it is now the 7th day of Brawlin.
We click
Feels
the
good
long
to have
rest button.
spells back. Hell yeah.
I don't even get anything except for my hit dice back, but it was more the fact that I was RPing so hard, my character needed to sleep.
It is still a heavy, pounding, rainy day outside, with strong winds and gales coming over and blowing that salt sea air into the town. Many people are covered up in heavy leathers to cover themselves from the downfall of rain. The gutters are slightly overflowing in some sections of this one of the oldest parts of the town, of the city. And you'll wake up. You have meals in a feeding quarter of the temple, of the church.
I'm gonna do a quick shopping run. I don't eat much for breakfast, to be honest. I'm just gonna grab like rations from anywhere. It doesn't need to be a big thing. I want to grab like 20 of them, just for like the whole group kind of thing as well.
Absolutely. Let me just services or what the fuck am I looking for here? Lifestyle food. That's wine. Oh my god, where is just a ration price? Just need a price for ration. Oh, it's really annoying me. Why don't I have this? Oh, just mark down 5 silver. We'll sort out later.
For 20?
No, 5 silver each.
5 silver each?
No, 5 silver each. Give me 1 second.
No,
I'll find it. Let me just find my DMG. And it will be in... Well, it'll be in trade goods. It has to be in trade goods, right? No, that's sacks of saffron. I don't need that.
Who would have thought it would be this?
I would like to eat
The most complicated of things.
One of the most used things in an inventory.
It just says rations 5 silver. But
Oh,
there's
really?
there's no way it could be 5 silver each, because holy shit, a commoner would never eat.
Well,
I'm
no,
looking
they're
in
not.
the-
They're not meals. They're rations. These are trail. These are meant for last forever, and eat out in the wild and stuff like that.
I just realized I shouldn't be looking at the DMG. I should be looking in the fucking motherfucking
The player.
It's
Player
much
handbook.
cheaper if we just buy a keg of beer and just survive off that alone.
adventuring gear.
Yes,
Ration.
It says
Rations.
5 silver.
I'm so sorry,
Rations.
guys. I derailed this whole section.
No.
Into
5
buying
silver.
rations.
Okay. Yeah. So 20 times 5.
10 gold.
10 gold.
Perfect.
I don't.
God, how do people
Do I
eat in
still
this
have my
economy?
These are not
I imagine
meals.
so, yeah.
These are
I do. Yeah, cool.
special things.
So at breakfast, Lyranok looks like shit. Lyranok pretty much almost looks like he hasn't slept.
I'm picturing Lyranok looking almost gothy.
Not frothy. He's
Like Peter Parker, Spider-Man 3.
No,
Black
he's not,
suit.
he does not look like that. But he does look very unkempt. He literally looks like he's woke up, just threw everything stuff on. Again, he's continuing on with his very blank stare. He's not talking. He's not chatting at all.
Sophia looks exactly the same and sits beside you, and you don't say a word. Did you eat your breakfast?
So,
As a bird in arm.
Bonding via mutual trauma.
yeah.
Hendrik is going to look around the table at Orly and Torkel and Thoric, and it's sort of that who's gonna talk to Lyranok? I'm not gonna talk to Lyranok. Are you?
Hey,
you guys,
Lyranok. Hey, what's up? How's things? Sleep well?
Leonark actually doesn't even respond to you. He doesn't look like he's heard.
I get it. Sometimes food is just too good to talk.
Again, Leonark's he's just going to eat. He doesn't eat a great deal, and then at some point he's just going to sit when he's down.
I'm going to
I-
ask you
oh.
how awkward the table is right now. Because I feel like you're in control of that.
Leonark is just sort of blank staring. He's in his own, off in his own world mentally, completely. He has not in sort of reality. At this point, he's just going through the motions at this point. It's probably the best way I can put it.
Okay.
I have to go out and deal with something today. Do whatever it is you want to do. I don't care.
Lyrnak, do you need help from one of us?
Do what you want. I do not care. And he's going to walk up and he's going to leave the house.
Okay. I'll keep an eye on him.
Cooking
Sophia,
Sophia just looks at him and then, jeez, he's acting like someone killed his dad.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it seems you're sounding a little bit better then.
Yeah, you need
I'm
to give her
pretty
that
fucked
line.
up,
That was a great line.
That was a lot. I don't know what to think. I think I'm going to shadow him and make sure he's okay because I think I know how it feels to have this blood and feel bad, which in the holy book says isn't possible, but it is possible for us to feel bad. So I'll stick with him.
Okay, you sound pretty rational. That's fine. It was either going to be me or you because one of us needs to maintain contact. I'm happy for you to go if you are happy that you're mentally happy.
You guys still have the sending stones, so it should be
Well,
fine.
we have contact. We're good, but I just want to make sure. I'm reading Sophia very carefully now
Make an
that
insight
you
check.
are okay.
Make an insight check.
She hardly beats a 13.
If she's trying.
Let me see her bonuses. I'll just GM roll this. Where's that thing? You read on her expression that you clearly see just an air of just confusion, just unsure of direction, and really just displacement on her emotions. Like she just doesn't really know what to feel.
Okay, and she's just
She
looking
felt-
for some
Something
mindless
to
task.
hold on to, just to give her something to do. Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, if you guys need help, you're probably fucked because we're going to be miles underground. So
Are we
try
not?
not.
Well, we
try
can't
not-
go without Lyrnak. Yeah, maybe I can, but should we?
Well, that's up to you guys. I'm not going to make that decision, but it seems like Lyrnak wants to be alone.
Yeah,
It might not be the best thing for him, but it's what he wants.
No, I'm not saying we shouldn't let Lyrnak be alone. I'm saying,
Sure.
are we going to go into the dungeon without Lyrnak? Really?
Well, I don't know how long this process is going to last for
Oh, give him a
Lyrnak.
day, right? I mean,
Have you ever? We don't even know what's wrong with him.
Well, we can give him a day.
You
have 2
haven't
days
gone
until
through much trauma in your life, have you, Hendrik?
You used to it, I guess. Time heals all wounds, right?
No.
Give it 100 years.
I don't have 100 years. I don't think Lyrnak has another 100 years either, to be honest.
Yeah, I keep forgetting about that part. Not you. I know that you're, but I keep forgetting that Lyrnak is not.
I've been around for a while, but comparatively speaking, not that long with yourself and
Yeah, but I'm talking about Lyrnak's been around as long as I have, ish. And I forgot that he is not Okay, I don't know. Listen, all I'm saying is let's give it a day.
I'm happy. I'm happy to do so. We need to stick around anyways. So
Yeah.
what do you
Yeah.
want to do? Does anyone else do what else is there to do?
I was going to check the library for the White Rose.
You shouldn't do that, Thor.
No?
You shouldn't do that. No. What you should do, though, is you should look in the library for the Dominator.
What's the Dominator?
I'll check the library.
Really? You're gonna go full on teleportation, spectral projection on us?
No. Listen, I could tell you, but what I can tell you is not that much. You can probably find. I mean, you
It
probably
would
won't
be
find anything.
safer for us not to know. Is that what you're telling us? I'm sorry, I'm still tired.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I
Apologies.
look around. How many people are around in listening distance?
Make a perception check.
For how many people are around? Okay.
Make a perception check.
Okay.
Use your toes.
With your blind sight and your new sense of just dimensional space, everyone here, from what you can tell, is busy getting their free church food with some light seasonings on top of it, and they have their own things to talk about, such as the guns going off in the middle of the day, the appointment of a new archzealot, the stabilization of like kind of markets, like and what to do, and talking about what's coming, what they're planning for the weekend. It's getting close to the weekend, so.
Everyone, finish your breakfast. Then we can go up to the room, and I'll give exposition on all this.
Yeah. Sorry, by the way, the meeting with the Archzealot is actually on the 10th day. It's not tomorrow, it's the 10th day. So it's the end of the week. The same day as
okay.
Eric.
We don't need to stick around for that, do we?
Not if you don't want to meet the Archzealot.
I don't really. Me and Dorothy don't really care. I don't. To be honest, it's just an appointed archzealot who probably doesn't know anything about being an archzealot and is going to. Don't do that to me, Sean.
I'm just saying, we'll never know who's appointed.
Guess we're staying until the end of the week then. Cool. Quick question out of character. Who gave Thoric the first petal? Was that the archzealot within
the
Rakmir?
Archzealot of Rakmir, yeah.
Right. On why again did we get that? Was it because of Save and Slate, or specifically why were we given that?
We spoke up when
dealing with the Sun
Barazir. Oh yes, on Citadel.
And Barazir. Yeah.
Right. Cool. And then me and Thorkel went to speak to the archzealot. I've forgotten her name. What's her name again?
2 seconds. It is in Southern Towns, Breakwater, Rakmir. Come here, Rakmir. It is Valerius. No. Valeria Stradon.
Valeria.
Dwarven. Yeah, she's like the grandmother figure.
Yeah, and her voice, I'll always remember that. So me and Torkel went to her, and she was the one who requested about removing, in whatever way possible, that dragon threat. So we got the petal because it was related to dragons, and then we got a future quest from what we now know as a member of the White Rose to go for. I think that the dragon, once we get out of this place, is our order of business. I think
the dragon or the year.
Sorry, let me get the map. So, close to the Slumber Lake. Was that where we were told to get rid of a dragon threat from?
So right, let's do a quick.
Yeah, sorry about this. Need to do it though.
Calrax, the young dragon which he freed from the Sunless Citadel that was in control of the kobolds.
Yeah.
You killed all the goblins, killed the Dark Druid, And then the Calrac seemed to reform his kobold order and is now taking charge. Rather than being a pet, he is now taking charge of that kobold tribe, and promoted Meepo to his archpriesthood, right royalfulness, whatever title this kobold goes by. When you went to Calrax to try and deal with this dragon under Valerius Stratton's orders, he said, basically, or they said, the dragon was basically like, "Oh, I want to increase in power. I've got a much better chance. The biggest threat to me is my siblings. If you kill my sibling on the other side of the lake, then I'll reward you with riches or whatever else you guys want. That the best I can provide."
Oh,
I believe it was for the breastplates that Torko was interested in.
yeah. Okay, so right. My
Oh yeah,
wires
there's
got-
there's the master plate that was made that was for one of the families of the boy, the teenager who
Yeah.
you rescued. His master plate's still there that the dragon has.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. God, there's been a I know there's been a good few sessions, but there's a lot
Just want
that
to point
we've
out,
gone through.
it's been a year since this campaign started. We're in session 29.
Jesus, yeah, that's crazy. Right, so sorry, my wires got crossed then. So Archcelid wanted us to raid
Calrax from the Sunless Citadel.
Calrax, yeah. Okay.
And
But
the sibling-
it didn't seem it was yeah, sorry.
The sibling is called Savhar.
Savhar. I think the Archcelid was just telling myself and Torquil to get rid of it because we brought it up and it was more of a nuisance. If I remember
Yeah.
correctly, I think that's what it was more like.
Yeah,
So it
and the
wasn't
way that
exactly a
she-
kind of like like I've heard of this, go do this.
No. It was
Right,
more of
okay.
like if you could deal with that, it'd be great. Because
Yeah.
unofficially, Bowrazir's children, because of the way dragons work, aren't her subjects. They aren't her property. They are spawn, which create their own problems. So to kill one of her younglings, one of her young drakes, isn't seen as an act of aggression as much as it would be actually attacking her or her servants or her lair or something like that. But it's still a way of lessening her influence and power within the region.
Okay, I retract everything I said then.
Although,
Why is it-
if I do recall correctly, Barazir seemed quite doting on her drakes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's something we should
She's
keep in
very-
mind. That's something we should keep in mind, just as a heads up.
She's a master of manipulation though. I that could have been just folly.
It could have been. Or it could have been
Maybe.
genuine. So we're
Could
back
have
at
been.
square zero.
Yeah, but like I was saying, I retract everything. Eliza's Gap, I think, maybe is, or East Cairn Fort, maybe. Like what Ryan was saying, is probably the best course of action. Then, did we check up on Meepo? And
We haven't seen
Because-
Meepo since you left the Sunless Citadel and came down.
yeah, that's like at least. I mean, it's only
it was-
really
it
a
was-
week or two, isn't it? So, but that dragon has been We left it, came back, and it grew. And it was we didn't leave it for too long, so
There was a big belly dragon. There's a lot of goblins to eat, a lot of goblin corpses to eat.
I think it would be
And a lot-
fucking fun.
Kobold corpses to eat. They fucking
Yes.
ate the previous ruler of the tribe.
That's what I'm more worried about. There was a lot of kobolds down there. Dragons get hungry. No more goblins, stray goblins that died as food anymore because that was taken care of. Anyways, let's go back to the
Might be
game.
some
We've
tribals figuring out the Sunless Citadel though. Could be,
True. I guess my point is, what do we do?
shit's fucked.
Yeah,
It is fucked.
it's fucked up. Okay, what's the plan for today? At least let's get through today.
Let's make sure that Little doesn't kill himself or anybody else.
Oh, he's
Let's-
already gone. He's already fucked off.
That'd be success. Yeah, we don't. Maybe we shouldn't get engaged in too much, just in case we have to go help him.
I'm happy enough to
Obi-
just sit around. Maybe, yeah.
Go ahead,
Thork,
Ron.
you want to go to the library?
Yeah, we're going to the library to search the Dominator, as Hendrik suggested.
Got it. I don't want to, but I'll go with Thork as well.
Oh, you wanted us to actually? You wanted to get us in a room, didn't you?
Yeah, let me give you a rundown at least.
Oh yeah, that's
I take it you tell Sophia, like, Hendrik says you got to come back, Leonok, what do you do? And Sophia gestures for you got to come back. So hear
Do I
something
say that?
important from Hendrik.
No,
I
no, no,
imagine
no.
you tell
I
you don't
can talk.
involve Leonok.
I don't involve her in this.
Okay,
Yes,
but do you
she's
want to
not.
involve Leonok?
Eventually, but we don't have to do it right now.
Okay, so you got Thoric, you got Dorkle, you got
Leonok
Ori.
needs a day
Say your piece.
to himself. Do you guys want me to repeat everything, or can we just?
We can just
Every
say-
single thing out loud,
Oh,
Word for
word for
word for
word.
word, right now.
word for word.
Yeah, exactly.
I had to go AFK whilst you were doing your thing, so I
I want you to
or-
go back and watch the recording right now. No, it's not. It's
Or-
not even. It's not even
Bro-
uploaded. But don't do it now.
Ron, stop the recording, play it back.
or just give us like maybe the parts that Hendrik might highlight, like what he thinks is more important out of the whole thing.
Order of the Right Rose is founded around a incredible being, incredible fighter, a combatant. By the way, DM, I'm so sorry if I get any of this wrong, but I'm gonna get something wrong.
I'll correct you.
Okay, good. Thank you very much. That incredible being fought and defeated a entity known as the Dominator, and I don't think they killed it. They just like sealed it away or set it off or banished it. Whatever. It didn't
They
die.
couldn't kill it.
Yeah, they couldn't kill it.
Is this another?
I don't know what happened to
dragon?
that. I don't know what happened to the that White Rose character after the fact. But now the Dominator has come back somewhere to the east, on the other side of Kalmarsha, and the necromancer fellow that we've been tracking and fighting he's DM, if I'm correct, he is like, fuck. That's the part I didn't follow quite so well, DM. They want to fight. They want to stop the Dominator from, or not. They want to utilize the Dominator to destroy Concord. I think.
The White Rose's ambition is to stop the Dominator wherever they
Yeah.
fit, but they don't have their super weapon. They don't
Yeah.
have a White Rose to
Yeah,
defeat
but
them this
the
time.
Necromancer though. What's their?
No,
what's
we do
their?
not
from
actually
what-
know. We do not know the connection for sure. We know that
Yeah.
the dwarf person. I'm going to refer to him as a six-fingered man because I'm assuming that's who they are. We're assuming that's who they are at the moment. We don't know for sure. He does answer to. I believe you referred to it as a lord or something.
Yeah.
Can't go
His
for it.
benefactor, call it a
His
benefactor.
benefactor.
Yeah.
You know, he has a benefactor. So, and they're going to be up there. We also don't actually know about. We don't know if they're a necromancer. I don't think.
I don't
they are.
think that was this. I don't think that was the
I thought that. Okay,
necromancer.
I thought that was the Necromancer plus the whole using ashes and dark
I
magic
think-
or something like that.
I think
So
who we
that-
spoke to was the actual right
Yeah,
hand man.
but that was sounded like it was all limes, and
Yeah.
he seemed, taking it as a word, to show a general dislike for the methods, which included necromancy. So I don't think he'd be a necromancer. Maybe he is. Who knows? But anyway, we don't know for sure that there's a connection technically. All we know is that he mentioned White Rose, and there's some kind
Yeah.
of threat to the Concord. And then you mentioned White Rose to Jeroen,
Maybe
and
there's-
Jeroen brought up
Yeah,
the
maybe-
Dominator. So
Maybe
it could
there's
be an
literally
assumption.
maybe there's literally no connection then.
Maybe they're not. Maybe they're not. Maybe
They might not even know about each other.
Not. That's what I mean. We don't know for sure. It seems like a potential connection, but at the moment,
Yeah.
it'll
Until
be
we know-
dangerous for us to start making like absolute assumptions more along the lines of it's a consideration we should make. I think.
Until we
Oh
know.
my god! I think
the
I think the guy in the
right-hand
projector is almost a fucking third party at this point.
I think he's a right hand man is the right term. I think he's the right hand man of someone. And until we know who that someone, the benefactor, is, we can't put this together other than they're causing shit.
Just to explain about the urn.
I did also
Urns,
yeah.
the urn's destruction and need was purposefully to change whatever they needed about Slate to the child.
Yeah.
That's what they needed it for.
Yeah, that's what I assumed as well. There's something with the child. We can only assume. I don't want to do that right now. But I do know that the DM the fucking it is a necromancer because I got visions of the necromancer and he brought undead things to attack us.
Oh yeah. I mean, during that
Yeah.
vision, the six-fingered man, you asked to destroy the necromancer. That guy,
and he's in
that
Kalmar.
bone mask, he was using necromantic magic to kill tribal leaders, to raise corpses, to do things. So,
and we do know that this was his operation. So
that's what Tyrion told
do we have a direct link between the right-hand man who we just talked to yesterday, in game, and the necromancer? Do we have a direct link?
Yes, because you saw the son go off to war and die, and the grief and the woman suffering, and the same person you saw, with that son raising them up is the same person, at least looks it behind the mask, the same dwarf that you spoke to, because he
The right-hand
referred to
man.
that. Yeah, you referred
Okay,
to.
so that's not good because that means the right-hand man who has a benefactor.
He's the six-fingered man.
He is the fucking necromancer then.
He is the necromancer, and
What
so
the fuck?
That makes me more worried because that means the fucking guy conquering Kalmarsh isn't even the boss.
God damn it! I'm so pissed
Which
off.
would
You're
lean
so
itself to-
condescending and such a dickhead to us, man. Oh, I
Which
bet you're loving this session so much, Cypher.
Which certainly
God.
would indicate that it's the Dominator goes, holy shit, that man sounds like he probably could conquer countries in an afternoon.
Shit, we're fucked.
But if he is trying to turn this child into their own White Rose, which we don't know for sure, we don't fucking know, why would he be aligned with the Dominator?
I don't think he is aligned with the Dominator.
No,
because
I don't think
was
he is.
talking-
I don't think he is.
I think we have a big evil, an intermediate evil going on.
I hate the morality conflicts in this session. In this,
Guys,
in this,
sorry,
in this campaign.
we have to ally with. No, I'm kidding. We're gonna kill everyone.
Allying with the Dominator? How did he know that was my secret mission?
Could you
Fuck you,
imagine?
no, do not do that. We've already had one Warlock do that.
Because you're a
I-
fucking
And
dragon.
he got fucking Finger of Death for it.
I just
Let me
want to say one thing. One
Yeah.
thing, that's all.
Yeah.
We could have
Or power would kill everything.
essentially teleported to the Necromancer with welcome open arms this very session. Just think about that.
Yeah, then we'd be
Yeah.
dead.
I don't think that'd be
I
a good
don't even
idea.
think we would be at this point. I'm so fucking confused by
No,
allegiances and gold.
Okay, here's how that turns out. Here's how this. Okay, we teleport. He says, "Welcome to my kingdom." We're surrounded by guards. He brainwashes us. We are now stooges.
I respectfully disagree. I don't think it'd go.
We
like
need to get aluminum tinfoil hats to protect us
fuck
from.
is aluminum?
Let me just throw
That'd be
a
many.
wrench in your little machine here.
that. Okay, thanks. Yeah, go for it.
How would this apparition of this man know to worry about the White Rose?
He's a member.
Well, he used to be a politician.
Well,
Well, we know it was the Concordium.
Those bloody
yeah, it was
politicians.
Accordion. And his son was a knight, right?
Fucker has fingers within the arch zealots and
He has 6
Breakwater now.
fingers in the-
Dude. He's
Yeah,
got fingers in every pie, all 6 of them.
I don't know if we're completely sure if he was a Silver Templar or anything, but he was.
I mean,
definitely-
as far as
someone
we know,
definitely military.
Maybe he
And
just
his
knows
son?
because they tried to kill him.
His son in the flashback wore the regalia and cloak of the Silver Templars of the Sacred Bastion.
Yeah,
The local-
yeah, we knew that he
one of the
was
local orders.
stationed in Fast Cairn Fort is the Sacred Bastion, right?
East Ken.
You're getting fucked over
Oh,
by
sorry.
the little road icon.
Yeah.
The record was there.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we knew his son was there, and we knew his son died, and we knew his son fought along with the saint, and we knew that his son was a Templar. That doesn't automatically mean that his family's nobility, but
Oh no!
Maybe.
Did we look into his son?
I know,
So we
I
could
know,
figure out who he is.
Because the son died in the legally distinct nuclear bombing of the massive forest.
Eliza's
Oh, no,
crap.
The collapse, yeah.
Yeah.
no, that's not Eliza's Gap.
Oh, is it
Oh,
not?
that
Okay, so-
was-
No.
No, that's
Eliza's
like yeah.
Oh.
So Eliza's Gap is these 10 knights. They all died.
yeah.
Then the living saint made this wall of fire or wall of holy fire, whatever you want to call it. The collapse, what he was referring to, it was actually wait, fuck this. I can do this in character, at some point. But
No, you're off.
But they are different. They are very different.
We need. Okay, listen. RP aside, we as players are having trouble figuring this out. So let's just.
It's
But RP
bullshit.
aside-
We've just gotten the big, huge revelation, and now it makes less sense.
No, that's the good middle part of the story, though, isn't it?
I'm
Listen,
complaining in
no.
happiness, okay?
We know who he is, why he is, and where he is. That's a
We
lot
just
better.
don't-
than
We don't know who he is, right? We know like what he is, which is the
I know who
necromancer
he is.
guy, but we don't know like his name or how he got the information about the White Rose or what his plans
Oh.
are.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. We don't
So, like,
know.
we know what he is.
about him.
He's the necromancer, but
And we don't
Why?
know why he is either.
yeah,
'Cause
why
it's
is he
not-
doing this? Yeah,
We know what he is and where he
In
is.
Hendrik's vision, when he tried to basically, he had lost his son, he had lost his wife, and he chose fire. Something in the fire
Oh yeah, spoke to him.
stopped.
I missed
Something.
that.
Hmm.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
I'm struggling a little bit of any revelations from the
Okay,
vision
guys.
because of the unfortunate recording incident, but
Oh
Let's-
yeah. Oh, don't remember. That's so sad. Right. So yeah, he was
Yeah.
grief struck, depressed, riddled with depression, and and then the fire, and then a darkness spoke to him, and
Oh,
that's
he
when
was
shit
he was
fucking
that-
shifted.
yes.
that is why he mentioned as well that that's when his benefactor found him.
Okay, so we're pretty sure the Dominator and the Necromancer work together, right?
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
Oh, Fuck.
No,
dude.
I can throw wrenches in every plan we have here, guys. By the way,
Not
I'm
necessarily,
playing devil's advocate.
not necessarily, but highly likely, right?
I don't see how
Hang on,
the
hang on.
plan that the necromancer has that he's explained to us, if we believe that is true, how that marries up with the Dominator wanting to destroy, well, everything in Dominate, because that's his name, right?
Yeah, but didn't he when Mr. Riddles was trying to fucking riddle his way through a conversation earlier on? Well, didn't he seem concerned about oh, don't have to worry about this, don't worry about that, because there's one thing, this ultimate evil kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? And he was considering himself as a Concordian as well and shit like that.
Wasn't his speech statement like, you guys don't know what's out there and the threat it poses to the 12 gods, and I don't want the 12 gods to die, so I'm taking these bad actions so that we can protect the Concord and the gods from the badness that's out there. So wouldn't that, don't you infer from that the badness is the Dominator and the
So,
guy?
I do have a theory.
Yeah.
If that's okay. I'm going to assume that a lot of, from what we've remembered, demons and devils and the like also were not particular fans of being dominated. They're kind of prideful like that.
Well, that's right, Rose. City Rose. That whole shit.
Yeah, that's something different. But it could be, and if it could be that someone else is trying to get their hands on this anti-magic super weapon because they're thinking, oh well, we can do it better.
Camilla.
Do we have any evidence that he's trying to bring about the second Rose?
Camilla, he's definitely doing that. He has to be.
He's doing he's doing something with the girl. But
Yeah.
do we have any?
We don't know. We have no idea. But
Okay, we don't even know if
Room-
it's possible.
When Jerome referred to the White Rose, he said the reincarnation.
Yeah.
If I'm going to be honest, and I'm not trying to forcefully metagame here, I'm pretty sure Hendrik could put 2 and 2 together with Camilla.
I think it's far smarter than I am. Yes.
But I think out of all of us, if one of us was to piece together those dots, I think Hendrik would do it. So I think it's safe enough for us to kind of like theory craft this anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
Find Camilla and Philip. To get
It
you
could
an
also
answer.
be. It
We're
could
never
also be.
finding them. That's a why.
It could also be that.
even the six-fingered man agreed with when I said it, bro.
So
By the way,
there-
just
there-
something I need to say because I love you
Yeah, go
guys. Toxie messaged me and asked, "Am I enjoying this?" And I just replied, "This has been a
Yeah.
year in the making for me."
Yeah.
He
I-
knew,
I-
guys. Cypher knew the shit was coming soon because he even messaged me earlier on. He was like, "You have no idea what's going on." I didn't realize it was going to be today, bro.
So I have a side theory though. Something that does work in both. He is working to preserve Erith and the gods, and working with the Dominator. It could be that he's hoping to conquer the Concord before the Dominator shows
Yeah.
up in full power.
I'm
And
with you on that
it's
one. Yeah.
Like, and it's like we surrender. Or like here's Concord.
That would still kill the gods. Like
Would
the
it?
Dominator isn't going to stop
Oh, he doesn't
being.
like
The Dominator's
any-
not going to be like, I'm not going to kill all these gods.
Yeah, I forgot.
Oh,
That
sorry,
would be-
did you not mean
yeah,
he was
You'd have to call him the negotiator at that point. Like,
If we take him at his word for what I think
Yeah.
it might be, it will be a powerful fiend of some kind.
Yeah.
So then, hey, listen, I don't want him to get stronger either because holy shit, he's gonna like take over what I want as well. I will help you go and you go deal with the Concord. We'll find the super weapon, and then we can go and fight. That's a theory that's potentially there, but
I
we just,
think
there's still so many breadcrumbs in a giant fucking pile that
I
we
agree.
haven't been able to see any trails yet.
I think most
Honest-
likely the Necromancer and the Dominator not working together is how things point currently, and the Necromancer. I think you're right. It's probably some other demon or some shit.
I don't know.
Cast your minds back to
I hate
the
this shit.
things that Cole had to find. And
I
there's
don't remember
notes.
what
Yeah,
It's
the
cool.
rods, the three rods.
Abyssal rods of ascent.
Yeah.
I totally
Oh,
forgot
shit.
about this.
Do we know anything more about the rods yet? I didn't think we did.
Nobody's checked them. Nobody asked to do a religion check or nothing.
We have the rods.
The what?
No,
no,
you
just
don't
about
have
what they are.
them. They're
Oh.
delivered. They're delivered
Sorry,
from
okay.
Cole by the Hydra
That's
to those
right.
ruins, and
Yeah.
imagined to probably be all the way through the teleportation with the six-fingered man.
Yeah,
Would
they're
I-
probably gone. Okay.
In regards to thinking about it further, I don't think that would be anything from my character. I really wouldn't have any kind of like experience with shit like that. It'd have to be one of you guys.
We could roll religion, or Cypher. Don't you just want to tell us?
And spoil the next 3 years of this campaign?
I
No.
bet you want to tell us really bad.
Here's what
No.
I think. Everyone else got their theories out, right? Here's what I think, and it's pretty much an amalgamation of all of the rest of you guys is with a little bits agreeing and disagreeing with each other. I think yes, the six finger man was initially approached by this domination character when he was in such a bad place, and that's why he was able to make a connection with him because he reached that low point. I think for the first year, because of the hatred and stuff like that, that the six-fingered man went along with it, just out of pure rage and pure hate for the Concord, and because they're the reason why his son died, blah blah blah. The more he went along with the domination, the more he realized, oh shit, this is bad, because what I wanted to do was just get revenge and maybe have a little bit of power over kind of like maybe this region. But what he wants is complete fucking domination, annihilation, the whole shebang. I don't want to do this anymore. We need to stop this. And I think he's probably shifted. And the idea with the daughter is to actually make a white rose and to utilize what he's learned from the White Rose Council to do it, because he believes, I don't know, maybe he could do it better than the White Roses because the White Roses aren't doing what the White Roses initially were supposed to do, and they're more used as a military kind of like outfit nowadays. That's what I reckon.
Okay, this is what we're gonna do. everyone write down their theory, and we'll each bet 50 platinum on it. And at the end, whoever was the closest wins the
I'm
pot.
down. Yeah, I'm down.
Mm.
We're all recorded. I think we've all gotten our theories out, right? Who hasn't gotten the theory out? Bro, you haven't given the theory.
Well, here's the thing. Thork isn't very smart. So right now he's listening to
That was it.
all these theories and is going,
I don't have a brain, but I have a plan.
There's like more than 3 moving parts, so he's getting lost.
Yeah.
And so he's more like, well, Ender could be right, but already makes a good point.
yeah.
And more importantly, what is on the menu for dinner later today?
Thork, if you write any of this down, I'll kill you.
in before he's already been writing it all day.
Sophia's
first
just
one.
found that Weston's just sharpening her needle point daggers somewhere else. This is great for her.
Why can't I write this down?
Because it's super secret, and we don't want anyone outside this room to know about it.
Okay. Can I write down that something super secret was said?
Yes. If it'll help you blow off that pressure valve. Yeah.
Awesome.
Someone's becoming OCD at this point.
I mean, he's
Wait, why is Sophia here?
No, she's not Sophia's.
No,
not
I said
here.
she's somewhere else sharpening her nails.
Oh,
Yeah, no.
sorry,
We
my
explicitly did not let her in the room. Okay. Okay. Oh my God, there's so much. Okay. Well,
let's just move on. Let's just do something for the day and just finish.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. Our plans haven't changed. Our plan is to go to Kalmarsha. Oh fuck, maybe they have.
That wasn't
changed.
our plan. When was that our plan? You said this to Jeru as well.
Can I,
well,
can I
what else
just
do we-
point out one last thing that I
What
think
else
got
do we-
missed?
Sure.
Yes.
The map that was Thieves' Camp showed
yeah.
the city of
Oh,
Spines.
yeah.
Jeru mentioned the Valetti forces are going to lay siege to the city of Spines in
Oh, did he?
Kalmarsha. Yeah,
Oh shit!
he did.
I take it back then. Ryan, you're right. We're going to Kalmarsha, I guess. But I mean,
That's where he is. That's if we're gonna fuck up his plans. That's where we're gonna fuck him up.
is he there? Is he there?
Yeah, he's there. Yes, he's there.
Is he? Maybe.
You step through the portal, end up in a grand hall in the middle of Erith. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, dude. No, I'm thinking more fucking East Cairn Fort. That's what I'm thinking.
He's in Kalmarsha.
Wait, hang on. Who's occupying the East Cairn Fort right now? Isn't it the
The Raising Flame.
the Raising Flame? That's the one.
Oh, sorry.
No. Sacred Bastion.
Yeah,
Oh, is it?
Raising Flame is the lightly armored.
Skirmish poison.
Yeah, skirmish ones.
Scouts.
Yeah, they would be really awful at holding Eliza's gap.
Oh, okay.
In comparison, don't send the fucking military after me.
Quick recap for me, please. Sorry for fucking derailing again. What are the Bastion again?
They
there is
are the order that was
sorry, go on.
founded after Heliza's Gap, after the Battle of Heliza's Gap, to defend Heliza's Gap. They were created after that.
Cool. They just
and they-
preside up in East Cairn Fort, really.
They're like the Imperial Fists of
Defense
40k.
specialists.
They're defensive specialists, so they were heavily used in the war in the northern regions. Hence, why maybe a soldier might have accompanied a grand northern expedition to go and flank and stuff like that. But they're siege resistant specialists and things like that.
You send them when you want them to plant a flag and not let it fall at any point.
Pretty much.
Okay, I'm going to take that map out again. As the crow flies, where's the line going through? Is it going through perhaps Slumber Lake, or is it going through the road where East Cairn Fort is to get to
The line.
Yeah.
The line. Do you want me to mark where the city of Spines is? Would that make it easier?
Yes, please.
And is it like a direct? Yeah, sure. And it's like a straight line is marked out on the map, is it?
From the fold, yeah, they folded it that way. So it would be city of Spines would be. All right, this is going to be cool. I'm going to show you this. City of Spines.
So I know he's not, but as soon as he's hearing the keyboard, I just love to imagine he's just Googling it.
Right.
Just
So
seeing what comes up.
there should be a new pin. It's just beneath the A and the L of Kalmarsha.
And
So
Erith.
the city of Spines, these
Hmm.
5 mountains, 1, 2, 3, 4. The city of Spines is in the middle of those 5 mountains.
Okay, I'm not seeing it.
Hard
I'll just
refresh,
post a
maybe?
screenshot. I'll
No.
put a
Maybe
screen
it takes
cap.
a while.
Yeah, it
I'll
might.
put a
just take
screen
it.
cap in D&D notes. There's nothing revealing in my.
About
It's
checking.
basically a straight line right from the city of Spines all the way through to Eland, as like literally a line.
So that's going directly through East Ford then.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Sorry.
Because it's. In fact, you almost could not make a more perfect straight line from connecting those two than going through East Ford.
Bingo!
Which,
Oh,
oh
where's
no! Wait,
Oh no.
Where's it at?
they're going in straight lines. They're an army of paladins.
Where's
No.
it at?
No, it means it's not by
Aha,
fucking
that's
foot.
Fine,
That's what
that's
that means.
an honor among thieves joke.
I don't see it. Where's it at?
So yeah, it's not for some reason we're not showing it up yet. Oh no, now it's showing up. City of Spines, yeah. So yeah, it's pretty much just below
I
the
wish I could
L's.
draw lines. I wish I could draw
There's
lines.
Ah, there we go.
Wait,
Nice.
hang on. Wait, let me go and see if I can find my primary school 30-centimeter ruler. Okay. Yeah, it's definitely going through Eliza's gap though.
We need several
Yeah.
B-29s and several nuclear bombs.
Right, can we make a roll on the rods?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
It can't be me. Or he wouldn't know anything like that.
Torkel religion, Lyranok religion, and Arcana for Hendrik.
I'm like,
Yay.
fucking, I don't think I'm even in the city at the moment.
Arcana 16. Torkel, roll that religion check.
Make it over 20. Or 20 is
Ooh.
fine.
Arcana, there
Yeah,
are.
I am tempted to reroll with my inspiration.
Do
Yes,
it.
You can do so.
Do you think that would be helpful?
I'm not going to say. Might need it later.
Risk. Reward.
This this
I've
might
thrown
this
you
there.
plenty of
This is
buttons
important.
session.
This is important.
Yeah, this is gonna bother me if we don't get.
Nice.
Ah, it's fine. Okay, you both succeed. So we'll go with Torkel first. So there are specific items which are tied to cosmic entities such as demons, devils, celestials, and elementals. The kind of great 4 triarchy of extraplanar or creatures connected to the other planes or the whatever. And there can be tools or grounding items designed to specifically attune specific creatures or locations to other things. So, for example, you have tuning forks, specifically defined tuning forks for plane shifting spells. This is more like you would have a specific helmet and armament, maybe a stone slab to summon an elemental. And from Abyssal Rod of Ascent, it seems that these rods are tied to the Abyss, which is where the major realm of demons. It is the lower parts of the Inferno, the deepest parts of the Inferno. And they would be roused to specifically tie a place for a demon to rise. And 3 of them is, could be used for 3 different individuals or a larger one. But what I will say with the 20, these rods, they wouldn't be capable of bringing in like a demigod level creature or they wouldn't be bringing in like an extremely powerful creature that could crack reality. Like you would need dozens and dozens of them to bring in a solar, for example, the highest echelons of the angelic halls of an angel rod or something like that. So 3 of them is bad, but you're not talking the Balrog showing up, for lack of a better
Okay.
word.
Hmm.
But it's specific. It could be specific. You could summon one bigger one or 3 littler ones.
Because they have 3 doesn't mean they're happy with 3.
I mean, those were 3 that Cole was hired to
Those
get.
are 3 we only
across
know
the
of.
way. That's true.
Yeah,
Also-
they're just sitting on a stockpile of.
Who the fuck knows? We don't fucking. By the way, his exiting note before he left the hologram was, "I'm literally in hell." I'm paraphrasing. He didn't say that, but he said he was in hell.
Yeah.
Now, that could be because of Kalmarsh's its environment, how it looks, but that could also be a literal interpretation as well.
Seems a fair assumption. Just so we can double check, I'm assuming by hell, because he did mention hell specifically, is that like the Inferno, or is that something different actually in this world?
I would say the way he worded it was less of a, and what I described with the Arcana check from Hendrik was that he could not broadcast himself from other planes. He would have to have been on a material plane to broadcast from that transport circle.
bring it up.
So he couldn't have
Yeah,
been
but it means. But I'm assuming he'll have a connection, and he specifically mentioned hell, which is what obviously we use in real life.
Yeah.
Is there a hell in
setting? People
setting,
in the
or-
setting would refer to the underworld of demons and devils as the Inferno. Hell would be more of like a, I don't know, like described as awful feeling.
Right. Okay.
Torment.
Okay.
Rather
Right, so,
than,
but they are distinct things. It's not like hell is interchangeable for the Inferno.
no, you'd refer to it as the Inferno or the Abyss.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah. With your passive insight, Torkel, you read probably, even though you didn't care, but he meant felt like he was in hell. Like he felt like he was he felt like he was in the Inferno. At least you know your enemy's not 100%, I guess.
He might not be our enemy. Who says he's our enemy?
Everybody's our
Or not
enemy.
his enemy. By the way.
Well,
Oh my god! If we
everyone's
had
our
known he
enemy?
was a 6-fingered man during that whole conversation,
Hey,
it would
to be fair, in campaign 1, we did ally with a lich. So
wait, when did we do that? Oh wait, that was the guy on the day.
yes, I don't recall the regent.
The Regent was the limper. He was one of the 10 who were taken, and you used him to help fight and kill Soulcatcher. Or find Soulcatcher.
So
God Queen.
Very different party with different moral compass.
Yeah, 100%. I'm just saying, it's not like it will be the first time we've allied with somebody who is definitely not good.
Liches aren't necessarily evil.
They are.
Yes, they are. What the fuck are you talking about?
Mm.
They have to. What the fuck?
Sorry. Anyways, right. We have an Arcana roll as well.
Okay, I guess they're
The
as evil as
Arcana
like
check.
a sentient lion that eats people specifically.
Yeah,
The
sorry.
What do we have to do?
Let's set the talk.
Sorry.
The Arcana check of 20 is it's a
22,
highly special.
22 actually. It's
20
guidance.
It's a highly specialized tool. A rod of ascent. A rod of ascent is the colloquial term for it, using magic circles for crafting. It's designed to link a location to a creature, a specific creature, and bring them to that location. They can be transplanar, so they can reach across planes to bring something like that. There's still a risk of failure. They're not perfect. There's still that anything traveling the planes is still a risk of failure. They do take a long time to make. Probably one rod would probably take like half a year to make. So quite expensive. Like talking like maybe 10,000, 15,000 gold pieces, something like that at least to make one of them. From an Arcana check, from a material point of view check, time spent, all this stuff. And with looking at the notes, there's only a few places you could get them that actually tolerates necromancy. Cremor, and the other one mentioned in the notes would be the only places in the world to be famed for or necromancy or demonology. Sorry, I should just reiterate that. Demonology would be what these places would be referred to as known as experts on, not necromancy.
Right.
Is it one way to the creature, like the creature to come to wherever you're from?
22, you can also turn off that rod and stop the action and decast it. So it's a summoner. It's long as the rod remains, the creature remains, but whoever has control of the rod
akin
can
to akin to a concentration almost. Obviously not
Correct.
exactly the same rules, but as in it's
Roughly
present
the same.
for as long as the summoner or the rod is present and in one piece or on. Don't know how to word that particularly, but
I'm just imagining like notes and parchment and ink, and like you're just sending out you're just eventually popping out the door, and the south house will be like, "Get me more paper, get me more parchment." It's like
Dude,
you
we're
guys just
proper
make
going
up-
sunny side, fucking Charlie. Here we are. I'd even argue that like this takes half the fucking day that we're theory crafting just in the House of Bolts.
Yeah,
That's where we are, right, Hendrik? You just took us to a room.
yeah. I just took you to a room and locked it. Nothing to worry about.
Well,
We have so much shit in front of us now, guys.
if I'm going to the library, do others want to come with to start research anything else we've been theorizing about?
Yes,
I'll
I'll have a day off once
Torko-
the world's saved.
Torko needs to go back and do some shopping, but if the guys who are going to research them things want to research that bomb that killed that guy's son, and if see if we can find out any information about the son that could lead to the dad, that might be useful.
You want to go at family records and look at that keep and stuff like that?
I mean, I'm just saying, like, if we know that the kid died in a specific event, then potentially you can work backwards from there to try and find out more about the only actual, like, real, tangible bad guy that we have information on at the moment.
I agree, it's a good idea.
Oh, the druid guy. Or am I completely off on what?
No, the six-fingered man, the druid guy.
he's Eland a number of years ago. I can't remember the name. I'm sorry.
He attacked a
Like-
Vard.
It was like 3 years ago.
Oh, sorry. Was it Vard?
Yeah.
Yeah, he attacked.
Okay, sorry.
He attacked the
they
whole
attacked.
town of the two party members.
Okay, he attacked Vard a number of years ago. The attack, or the thing they're referring to, is during the last war with Tearland. Concord basically planned this very major offensive. Spoiler, this is what it is. Actually, no, wait, again, fuck, I keep telling you, find out in roleplay, get fucked.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Actually, I know it, and I'm like going, oh, I want to share it, but...
You're having a strop in game right now, so you can't tell us.
Yeah, I know. Fuck
I also don't know that you know that.
No, you don't get...
Okay, well,
I just need to turn my mic off and shut up for a while. I'll be back.
Right, everyone's going to do something. I'm going to split up as well. All I'm doing is I forgot. I'm a wood carver. I can make my own bolts. I don't have to buy them. So I'm going to spend the rest of the day kind of like crafting bolts. And if I have maybe a few hours before the others come back, I'm going to make my way out towards the ruins. I'm just going to keep tabs on if there's any traffic incoming or outcoming from the ruins from a distance. That's going to be me.
What I'll say is you need to spend 8 hours making bolts to do that.
Oh well, then I'm not. Then I'm not doing any recon. I'm just making bolts then for the rest of the day.
Yeah, you're making bolts. Torkel, you're shopping, and then Lyranok, you're just praying to God, right?
No, Lyranok is basically heading out of Breakwater.
Uh-huh.
He more or less wants to go out of the city proper.
Yeah.
And sort of find a relatively abandoned area or something where There's not a great deal of traffic. He's away. He pretty much wants to get away from everyone.
Uh-huh.
And then once
you find an
yep, and then
abandoned mill storage house.
once he's found that, he's just gonna. He's sitting there, and he's gonna slowly, just like breathing slowly, deep breaths. But then, as he's doing this, there's no one around to see. But like from beneath his skin, it starts to glow brighter and brighter and brighter until the point where it's flooding out of his eyes and his mouth, and you can actually sort of see almost cracks of light coming through his skin. And he is going to just let that build, and then to the point where he's shedding a bright light. I want to say 20-foot radius. This thing is fucking bright. So it's going to be very obvious for anyone looking at it. And then he's just going to scream as loud as he can. And he's just going to like kind of almost rage room. It's this abandoned mill. He's going to be like, he's going to be throwing shit. He's just completely going out and going ballistic in this room and letting out all his frustration and anger because he fucked up.
Roll me a D100.
Oop, that's not how you do that command. 12.
Okay. You feel the anger, the resonance of the boom of the light being shed, and all these things. You feel drained. You feel exhausted. You feel sad. You feel angry and hurt. And as you kind of calm down your adrenaline, at the corner of your vision, you just see Sophia like about 80 feet outside the doorway. Like she makes her known, you can see her, and she gives like a very like shallow nod of just like understanding, and then she just goes back and leans against the wall and sits outside.
Did the others send you to keep an eye on me?
She heard what you said and approaches closer. Crosses her arms. They didn't send me, but I wanted to keep an eye on you.
Did not need supervision. This was something I had to do.
Oh, I get it. You don't need supervision for anybody. We don't really need supervision to do anything that we want to do.
Only it were that easy to just do what we wanted to do. Why can't I just... I was supposed to be different. I spent so many years trying to be different, but then it just happens, and deep down, I've not changed.
Do you think that greater angels, when they come down here, when they have to fight for us, do you think they enjoy it? Or do you think they look forward to returning to heaven?
I don't know. But I don't just not like what I am. I hate it. To me, what I am, deep down, I'm just no different than a monster. I'm just here to kill and kill. And I don't want to be them. I want to be that. I want to be someone that people look up to and aspire to, but maybe we can't change. Maybe Just when that fight started, and there were those fiends, and they were there, and all that power that I wanted to walk away from, the power that burns and destroys, just came so easily to me.
We can't take a step closer towards you, about 5 feet. We can't change what we are or what happened to us. As someone who very recently just gave in to really strong anger that I had, it didn't feel good. It didn't feel right. But I know that I needed to use it. And if I didn't, some of us might not have made it out of that place.
Perhaps that's a difference then. Because deep down, if some of the others, if you hadn't made it out, if we had killed that undead thing and that Limes, whoever, I don't think the real me, the one who I am deep down, would care. When we were in
Carry on.
when we were in Rakmir, there was these two children. Must have been what, I don't know, 1920, just kids. One of them seems to have magical abilities that are not accepted. They were being tempted, and when we were there, and I saw them, my very first instinct, the one I had to fight, was to cut her down. Was to just vanquish and kill. And for what? She doesn't know better. But that's who I am. Deep down. Someone that just kills. So it's not about using this power for the protection and the greater good. Because in the end, this power doesn't care. If it has to let a dozen, 100 people die to kill this evil, it will. And I don't want to be that. In that war, there was this just elven child. The sheer terror that he looked up at me. I wasn't some soldier. I wasn't a hero of the Concord. I was just a butcher. I tried to save him. He couldn't have been, I don't even know, elven years anymore, but all the power that I had suddenly gone. Killing came so easy. But saving? All of a sudden, I couldn't do it. That's what I had to walk away from that. And I've dedicated the rest of my life to making up for it. And it doesn't seem to matter.
I think the difference between you and I, Lyranok, is I know that I'm a weapon. And you seem to deny it.
We shouldn't be the weapons, though. Do you not see how horrendous that is? To just be living weapons, to be useful for nothing more than killing. Some people think, and I know the party thinks me too, that I'm just naive, that I believe that people can change for the better. Even when they can't. But I have to believe in that. I have to believe that people can be more than they were. Because if I don't, then what am I? Nothing more than a broken weapon.
A broken weapon sometimes is even more dangerous than one well balanced or sharpened. But it cuts both ways. You'll end yourself and your friends if you keep talking and thinking like this. My dad, when he was around, he wasn't like me. He was a human, and so was my mother, from what I was told. But what I've read in the scripture of Vela, at least in my order, teaches us that we should lean into this. We are weapons. We're better. We're faster. We're stronger. We are divinely mandated by heaven to be things which mortals cannot be. Because we know what we're doing is right. And they'll always question it, but we have the blood of heaven on our side. And we know that every action we take is for the best. Do you really think if you spared that boy, he wouldn't have just gone off to kill, I don't know, another 20 men of your order? Or got so far up the ranks he ordered the destruction of a village?
Maybe he would. But if we keep killing on the possibility of what might be, how are we any different than any number of creatures we fight? These evil beings that just want to kill and kill. You see this blood in our vows, some blessing that gives us that we know what we do is good and just and right. What if it's not? What if it's just power?
I think you should go see a priest, Lernok, and sort your shit out. And she turns away and walks away.
They're just going to sit there in the rain for a little while.
Yeah.
You'll come back at some point.
Mm-hmm.
In 3 business days.
Like it might be late, but
yeah, and I think there's a good point to end the session. We'll get into shopping and research next session. But yeah, she's not one for sympathy.
Yeah, we're not going to get along.
No. Because me as a GM, I was like, oh, he's pouring his heart out. Say something nice. I was like, no, Sophia ain't like that. She ain't built like that, man. Like, she's all in on this. Like,
I respect it.
Yeah. All right, let's quickly do piety. Okay.
Do I get negative piety?
Oh, here's the thing: does piety even count anymore? Because realistically, the gods are going to die in a few weeks. So,
if you choose
piety for the new god.
do anything evil.
For Hendrik, I'm not sure. You didn't lose any piety, Hendrik.
Woo!
Bahamut, nothing just yet. I don't think on Bahamut. For Kinos,
I don't think there's anything that was fulfilled.
just yet. And then Boldray, for keep people safe.
No, I don't think so.
We haven't really done anything.
Unless you want to account the fact that I walked away from the village, from the town before killing everyone, but before destroying everything. I don't think that's enough.
No, I think this is just a very just like, what the fuck is going on? What do we know? What do we do not know? Let's just think kind of session.
Yeah,
great.
And you were delighted with this session. You were.
I've had this written in my notes for months, if not just over a year.
Every time I felt myself getting like overworked and overwhelmed by all the information and like getting louder and louder, I'd stop and I'd just kind of like picture you just with the biggest smirk on your face.
You got no idea. You got no idea how that felt. The vindication. The vindication of also like you guys. You're not wrong. Like you're not so far from the mark. I'm like, oh, I fucked up. I'm like, no, it's working. It's working. Guys. You're asking the right questions.
You sound really evil right now, by the way.
Just wait until we get into phase 2.
How many phases is there?
7.
Don't say, I was about to say, don't fucking say 7 or 10 or fucking.
There's actually only 3.
Oh, good.
For part 1.
Yeah, for volume 1.
Yeah, you got to insert the second disc after that.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Imagine trying to say that out loud in public these days.
You want to feel old?
Or fucking side B.
Oh
Yeah,
God, yeah.
That reveal of Philippa's bargain is pretty fucking sad.
I'm actually genuinely frustrated that that wasn't clarified, that we didn't know that was the six-fingered man when we were speaking to him.
Well, no one asked the question. Why
That
did
was-
he make it be known?
That was the oh, that's so funny. I can't wait to watch this back because literally we were like, oh, fuck off, what are you talking about? We don't want to talk to you.
Yeah, enough, but we don't want to speak. That's the entire reason Lerner kind of had to jumped in a little bit, where it's like, no, hang on, this sounds important. Let's see if we can get some information. Like, guys, don't fucking got the call.
You know what my issue was? I thought this was just like the father of like some night, some random night, and that he was just working for like maybe the six-fingered man or something. That's what was going through my head.
I mean, to be fair, Hendrik had all the information.
Dude, he invited us to his house.
But
did.
I also feel like the characters wouldn't want to engage with the big head of the bad, or at least
definitely
Talk
not.
definitely wouldn't.
Which is
After they've just literally had their teeth kicked in almost to the point of death.
Yeah,
Oh,
you did get
Well,
punted
great.
pretty bad.
What a great thing to have someone moralize to you about why the decisions to try and kill you are good.
Fucking pure
I mean,
evil.
if anything, it was an ambush for the White Rouge. You guys just walked into it. It's not his fault.
What?
It's his
It's not his fault. What are you talking about
I mean,
right now?
technically, he did ambush the White Rose, just, potential
know
members
that,
of
though.
it. Yeah.
That's funny, actually. I had this thought like about an hour ago, and I forgot about it. We were what he was looking for.
The magic was in you all along. The ring.
It was the friends we made all along.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you could try and play both sides. Get both sides of information, maybe.
Oh God.
Okay, so I'm gonna call it there.
Yeah, I'm gonna
That's
go.
good.
I'm gonna
Thank
go
you,
there.
Cypher.
No.
Yeah, that was amazing. As always.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that, Cameron.